This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erizu Yamakawa, Circuit Barrakill, Remy Asalia, Arcadia Lunashine, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstadter, Nat Clay, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mikta Rapentau, Sapa Chakwatol, Edwin, Umbral Wind, Quick Levin, Pamela Isley, Camille Grino, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Bay Barbalay, Suno Chicano, Celestao Notrell, Lazy Boy, Abaga Dragonite, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Stormarrow, Tex, Yowie Wowie, Kai Lin, AJ Brainswordson, Anathus Moonscar, Arthur Law, Beridan Derard, and Cypup. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Eorzeans. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 274. I am Lukiel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Visten, Melav Wanadar, and Rollo Bess. Welcome. Today is this is episode 274, November 20th. Oh my god, it's November 20th.
Yeah.
Remember, the 20th of November.
I feel like we just got into this month. But now
we just got into this year.
That's
like
true.
41 days until 2022.
Oh lord.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't like
hate
that.
you for saying
I don't
that.
like that. Today we will finish part 1 of the Famitsu interview, even though this is part 3 of our reading of it. We will also be reading a tease left by Yoshi-P in another Famitsu article that we will surely get to at some point. But it is teasing something about 6.1 that is very interesting. Stay tuned for... this is also MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. We'll be reading that as well after recent events. And of course, stay tuned for the post-show. We'll be reading questions from the Syndicate. That's it. Let's jump into recent events. Yes. Well, we probably should acknowledge that today would have been a very special episode of Speakers of Eidolon.
Oh, what are you talking about? I've been playing early access.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
85 now.
I was so sick of that yesterday. Everywhere, everyone was like, "Oh, are you enjoying Endwalker?" And there was that post on the subreddit, like, Pretend Walker Early Access is what it said, but you don't really read that when you click it. You're like, oh fuck, is that today? You click it and it's just Pretend Walker Early Access. Stop. Well, at least it's over now. I'm sure people are going to still do this. They'll be like, 1 week in, I'm quite enjoying Endwalker, and then theories.
Good idea.
But yeah, this we've got 2 more weeks. Well, 13 days now. How did we talk about this? Like how we're preparing? I think we are. I think we have. But
Have we talked about? I don't think I mentioned anything about
maybe we didn't.
how we're prepping for Endwalker.
No, because I think no. You know what? We never got to that because we we got the announcement that it was delayed. So
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything special you want to complete or finish before Endwalker? Any of you?
I already got everything to 80. That was the big one. I'm trying to get some extra moolah to possibly move to Ishgard. That's going all right.
All right.
I think 20k in or 20 mil in now.
All right. Nice.
And then I've also been trying to do a lot more into PvP. I like PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I like Hidden Gorge a lot, actually. Once you get it going, it's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reluctantly doing Seal Rock to get the kind of the Lord Commander or whatever it's called outfit.
Uh-huh.
God,
God.
I hate Seal Rock. I hate Seal Rock.
Seal
so
Rock
much.
is the worst front lines.
I think it's one of the worst, but it has the best reward.
Yeah.
I don't like Shatter. I hate Shatter. I'd rather be playing Shatter than Seal Rock.
That's weird. Seal Rock used to be my favorite, but I think it might have been because it used to just be Seal Rock or like the other one, the original Seal Rock. Yeah.
Or
Secure? It was called
Or,
something else before then, I think, but it was very bad.
Slaughter?
Was it Slaughter? Yeah, might have been.
Well, Slaughter was a different thing.
Well, it wasn't even called that. It wasn't called the game mode. Like, we say Seal Rock, but Seal Rock is actually Secure, isn't it?
No.
So that's Seas.
Seas is that game mode, yeah. No. But it used to just be named after like the map. So we used to have Seal Rock, and then there was whatever that place is called with the
Cartano Flats.
Was it just called Cartano Flats or Cartano?
Borderlands.
Borderlands. That's what it was
Borderlands.
called. Yeah, yeah. God, those
Borderlands
were
ruins. That's
yeah, and the original Borderlands ruins, bad, very bad. So that made Seal Rock the superior game mode.
Seal Rock is so terrible, though. Like, the map layout is so shit. Why does one side have such a huge disadvantage when it comes to, like, points that are near them? And then why are the nodes totally random? They're just all of them can just spawn in one place. What the fuck's going on with this game mode?
And yet they kept that open but closed Astragalus for a tiny little
Astragalus is very interesting because the map wasn't actually that bad, but there was this myth that grew so heavily into the community that it just died because of that. Like, there was nothing. I think that's why it never reopened, because there was nothing they could really do to fix the map again. Because there was this more like a myth more than actual. Because I think that's been debunked by a lot of people that Astragalus wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. It could have been fixed.
It was unbalanced at first. There was a little placing the turrets, but they patched that.
They patched it.
Yeah.
But the myth remained, like this like idea that Astragalus is like if you spawned on one of the sides, you were at a you were at a disadvantage or something.
Hidden Gorge makes up for it though. Hidden Gorge is like really good.
I liked them both though.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like, but it's sad that we only have one map for that, and also no roulette as a result. Okay, so PvP. Anyone else have anything they're doing like this? Because I already did the one thing that I wanted before Endwalker, and that was getting all the jobs capped, and that's sort of done.
You did that earlier this year, even January?
Yeah.
Hey, you have a relic that you're still working
I don't care about the relic. I'm sorry.
Embrace it, Lukiel.
Yeah. Yeah. For the first time, I have made multiples of every single relic throughout the entire history of this game, including 1.0. But this is the first time I am probably not going to bother to finish the relic. And you can see the progress on my relic on stream. I am very close. And if I had cared, I would have done that like off stream. I cannot be bothered. I do not care.
Are you gonna get the notes?
The notes?
That's even harder.
All the field logs or whatever?
No.
That's easy. You just do them.
Why?
Well,
What for? Am I gonna
sit?
Am I gonna sit back and read them like in front of the fireplace? What? You know I don't care about mounts, Rolla. I don't care. You have a fuck about mounts. I'd be happy just with my chocobo. Yeah, I don't care.
I'm almost done with it, actually. I do want to get all the field notes. Got to do some cleanup in Southern Front, unfortunately.
Okay, yes, go on.
I've said this before. After not getting the relic in Eureka, and Lukiel having gotten every previous relic multiple times, this will probably be the first time that I'm getting more than one relic, since I am currently working on my Red Mage and Paladin relics. I might not get both, but I should probably get one more before the end of before Endwalker comes out.
No, the current.
Bosnia? No, in Bosnia.
Okay.
Yeah. At this point, it's like the The expansion is out in 2 weeks. What's the point? Like, why do I?
You won't need to get a new weapon until you hit level 60.
We're gonna be
60.
leveling.
Level 85.
Literally gonna be thrown. We're gonna have shit thrown at us like gear.
Yeah, but then you can save those and sell them, or get weapons for alt jobs.
Yeah. I might finish the relic. Maybe I'll. Usually, what happens is that I don't look forward. Like, I don't get hyped, or like get that stress, pre-expansion stress, until like it's like a few days away. When I know that I've reached a point where there's certain things I can no longer do. Like, oh, it's less than 2 days. I can't finish this and that now. So now I have to finish whatever I can. That happens always.
You can't max out your retainers pretty soon, guys.
Right.
Make sure.
Right. For instance, we have reached, I think, a point where I can no longer do the coffee biscuit thing more than once, because leaves need to recharge fully, and there is just no time to recharge a full 100 anymore. So that's already hitting me now. So maybe that makes me more worried. So I might finish the relic. We'll see. Yeah, Mela, anything you want to have done before Endwalker?
Well, I'm obviously not going to get everything at 80, but I'm going to get Summoner capped so I can do Scholar just to do the Void quests.
Right.
But not to actually play it.
Yeah, well, that's
and then
most
maybe
of the classes,
finish
right?
up the rest of the melee.
I mean,
Right. Yeah.
you will have to play through the healer role quest, mate. Like,
yeah, but not like in content.
Right. Maybe that's where
so
Mela discovers that he actually loves healing.
No, I played Astrologian to like 70 something.
Yeah.
I don't like healing.
No.
And then I'll wrap up all the last quests I've got to do. I've done most of the side quests in this game, so
Right. That's
I'll
true.
just finish.
Oh
up
yes,
those.
Chad is bringing up a good point. Make sure that you do One Wondrous Tales book. I think you want to start it next week.
Oh yeah, so
because
you
when
have
you hand it in, you get free experience. You get a free half a level.
True.
That's
True.
I always forget you can get XP from Wondrous Tales. I
Yeah,
never
because they added
did
it
it.
much later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do this until recently.
Honestly, I did Wondrous Tales for the first time like 2 weeks ago since Heavensward. I stopped doing Wondrous Tales a long time ago.
Yeah.
That book I gave her back was probably moldy at this point.
Yeah.
Same, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was never that fun, but it was like a little lottery game that was fun, I guess.
I should mention also that I think a couple of podcast episodes ago, I think I made it clear that we're not moving. We're not relocating. We're not getting a new house because there is no money in the FC chest. Well, we have reached that goal now. So, it happened so quickly.
Everyone out of loads of money.
It has happened. It has happened so quickly. I haven't had time to donate anything, so I don't know where this magic money came from.
No, I did a lot of. I think Wynn told me, he's like, yeah, we're trying to get money for it. So like,
yeah, I know.
And I forgot. I'm actually somewhat wealthy on my alt for some reason.
You're also, Rollo, master of coin.
That's not master of fundraising.
That's what is it
I'm
then?
the
What is it?
treasury. I look at them.
I see. Well, we haven't decided. I mean, we have to now. We have the money, so we have to at least enter the lottery. It's no guarantee, of course, but
I'll help you try and get a house if you want as well.
Well, I don't know if we can. Can we? There's no.
Can you give?
We need to deposit the money into the lottery, so we can only afford one ticket. I don't know if you can actually buy multiple tickets. Can you do that?
I don't.
No,
imagine
so
that. It's one, and you can't. Once you put it in for one plot, you can't take it out and move somewhere else.
Right.
You have to just wait.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they wanted to show you how many people you're competing with at the placard, so you know, do you want to try and compete for this one lot that has like 26 different people, or the one that's only got...
Right, yeah.
Let's make sure we're going for a shitty lot, like one in the corner, far away from the market board.
We're going for the best we can get.
Rollo.
Okay. I see. We're going that far now.
We got one of the best lots in Shirogane before we
It's
realized
true.
we didn't like being there.
Right, it's
Yeah.
true.
Why did we move here?
All the hype for Shirogane just like lost.
Yeah, that was weird. I think it was just because it
so
was new. I
ugly.
think that's the same thing that's happening to Ishgard now. We're going to be talking like a year or two from now and be like, why did we relocate to Ishgard?
Well, I think you'll like Ishgard because a lot of you guys have a disdain for Kugai. In
Yeah,
general.
that's true.
Or the Far East in general.
It's it's an
Maybe
annoying.
we'll have nice music.
Yeah, it's an annoying place.
Shirogane, no.
It's an annoying place because if someone wants to join the FC and they're like new, they can't find us because we're in Shirogane. So they have
Well, they
to
still
go
can.
through all these hurdles to get there.
Yeah, but they'll get there faster, Rollo.
Yeah. Now we're more accessible. Slightly. Yeah, you still need to get to Heaven's Sword, but that's part of the free trial. So there you go.
Not that you can join FCs in the free trial.
True.
Yeah.
But at least you can look at us.
From a distance.
You need to call it. You need to rename the FC house to like Chateau d'Espique.
Oh yeah, we need to be France. I don't know what our house is actually called now. I think we still
I
have.
think it's called Shirogane 51-06.
No, I think it has a name. Crystal something. Crystal Hall? I think it's
Maybe.
called Crystal Hall, which was the placeholder name when we bought the first house. Just never changed it. Okay. So Endwalker, it's coming. 2 weeks from now. Countdown has begun on the Lodestone with artwork for each day, as we are accustomed to now.
Ooh, wait, see that Rogadin today.
Whoa, Zooey mama.
I think they're also featured on the launcher? Question mark?
Are they?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
I've not noticed them.
I haven't.
Potentially.
You know what? I'm opening the launcher live. We're doing it. This is real podcasting right now.
Yeah,
I'm
doing
opening
it too.
Final
They're really nice
Fantasy
artwork.
online.
But some of the other pictures in the past have been easier to turn into wallpapers than these ones.
Oh, it is actually featured.
Yeah.
It's featured, but it's not a picture. It's in the news section, in the topics section,
okay.
the lower
That's
left.
fair.
So, 17 days left, and it is a it's a Rogadin there for sure.
It's a Rogadin Dark Knight.
Yes,
And she is magnificent.
That's how you know this was recorded on the 20th, because we said that. You know how they sometimes like to
Exactly.
prove that this is that's right. That's our timestamp.
You should hold up a newspaper as well from today. No, actually, move on.
Here's my eye drop instructions.
Oh, okay.
So that's how
that's
you
a lot
know
of
it was
instructions.
today. Yeah, that's
It's
a
not
lot.
dated.
Yeah, isn't this very long just for eye drops? Even then, I did fuck it up today because it said it
Looks
That
like
is
a
true.
page of
explicitly states do not put your contacts in. I think it was until like an hour later, and I put them in immediately, and I could feel my contacts melting, and I had to like sit in the sink and drain, and it was horrible. All right.
Shit in the sink.
What? I sat in the sink and cried because I was just waiting for my eyes to melt. That's how I get comfort, like a cat. I like to sit in the sink. All right. Moving on. That was just teasing Endwalker, making it worse for you to wait, just to remind you that it's coming, but it's still 2 weeks away. We every time 14 is nominated for awards, I always say we have been nominated. Fuck it, we've been nominated for 2 awards in the video game awards, best ongoing and best community support. When we talked about this last year, that's so funny. I wish I remembered the episode number, but I'm not going to do that again, where I just randomly pick an episode number. But about this time last year, we talked about this, and I remember us going, "Oh, we have no chance of winning. We're like the underdog. We're not that big." For the first time, we might actually win something. So we have a chance now. So make sure you
Yes.
go vote.
Vote for Final Fantasy 14. Do not vote for Genshin Impact.
That's
I mean,
Well,
competition kind of fucking sucks.
It's weird,
Yeah,
isn't
they're
it?
complicated.
In best ongoing, it's Apex Legends, Genshin Impact, Call of Duty Warzone, and I guess the only like real, well, I guess Genshin Impact as well, but Fortnite is also in here.
No,
Which,
Genshin Impact has been draining on its community for a couple of months
oh,
now.
okay, yeah, I've noticed that, but I don't know
That's
how
good.
dedicated
Rates are
they're.
just so bad, Gurgi, but I keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
Is
I
that
know
what
that.
If I find out even one person's voted for Genshin Impact,
Best community support as well, which I think maybe we have a good chance there as well. Our
yeah, the support's really good.
yeah, so yeah, there's that. Go vote.
Don't know about the community, but the support's really good.
All right. So that's that. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. Now moving on, we have this little tease from a Famitsu interview that is yet to be fully translated. This has been
Hopefully by next week.
yeah, I believe this was translated by it was translated by the Twitter user, right? Or is this
Yeah,
just,
it was translated by Audrey at Itakimochi.
Thank you for saying that, because I was preparing mentally to say that. So, I'll just read this. Producer and director Yoshida's comment about the Endwalker story via Famitsu November 18th, 2021 magazine. Yoshida says, there is a big mystery that will be revealed within the saga of the Hydaelyn versus Zodiac arc. For those of you who have come along through the journey of 14 up until now, you might think you'll go that far? Once this mystery is made clear, it shall then form as the basis of the new chapter of the story. In lieu of that, we have poured our thoughts from these past 11 years and have also put... We have poured our thoughts from these past 11 years and have also put preparation into the content moving forward for the next 10 years to come.
Oh,
10 more years.
there you go.
We're gonna be, well, some of us will be 40 playing
So-
14.
So
Not me.
what he's saying, though, is they're essentially just making a new massive arc.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
we'll
what
know
he
what
said.
it is
So that means
after
they've
playing the
decided.
story.
Yeah, because
Is that what you take away from when he says you'll go that far?
what Mela said, or what
No,
I said.
what you said.
That's just a new 10. No, but he
Well,
says
Because he says for the next 10 years, and he says the next arc,
yeah,
and this one was 10 years, so presumably the next one's going to be long as well.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
So I was
real
asking what you think
interesting
of this-
thing is
Because when
the
they
fact that
last
it's going to be revealed.
when they last talked about what came after the arc, they said they were like looking into different ways if they wanted another like Hydaelyn Zodiac arc style, or if they wanted, more like piecemeal, like every expansion is a different like story with no relation to the previous expansion.
Because I've seen
could
people
still be that.
making two theories based on the line you'll go that far, whether we're going into space,
That's
as in
not
beyond the moon,
Yeah.
or whether we're going into whether it's going to be a time skip. That is some interpretation.
that's what they read from "you'll go that far." That's very wide. You'll go that far, and speculation runs wild. It can literally be anything, though.
We're really reaching on this one.
Yeah.
Well, he says that you'll find that within the storyline, though. So
That's
if it's going to
true.
be a time skip,
Yeah.
they wouldn't reveal, we're going to do a time skip soon, but not now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's necessarily true, but maybe the thing about the travel through space thing could be true, or
We have a spaceship,
That's just-
I think,
Yeah.
like going
We'll
by
go
the
to
logo.
the Dragon Star.
yeah,
Maybe
that
the
would
Dragon
be-
Star will play into a Mericidia expansion.
That
Yeah.
would sort of go against what we've heard, though, from like the people that the dev team. Remember how, I don't know who said it. Was it Ishikawa who said she wanted to focus more on Eorzea again?
That's true.
It's weird for them to just go
Yoshi-P.
different planet. Yeah.
Did he like make a? This was like a personal opinion you had, but he much preferred like medieval fantasies. So, like,
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does.
some of the stuff we're getting into now. I would think he would have pivoted a little bit towards that, but you know what? I guess maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the you'll go this far, that there's going to be a massive cataclysm event and all technology will be wiped out and we'll just be peasants.
It would be really cool if they could do that, but I mean, there are ways they can do, like, because usually we have never experienced a calamity like the ones before the 7th Umbral, because the 7th Umbral calamity didn't reset civilization like it has done before, right?
No.
Would be
what, 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years, and we're back to normal basically. But normal. The other ones literally like erased civilizations. Allag just fucking disappeared. There's literally ages that we don't even know, like the Lost Age, like the 5th Astral or Umbral, which was like the calamity of ice. That one's just gone because most people fucking died. So maybe they can just do a full-on calamity and then have like that. See, that's the problem. I mean, I know how they can do that, but that would be so disruptive for like the overworld, because you'd essentially just remake like the new expansion. New zones are new Limsa and new Ul'dah, right?
And you can teleport back to old.
Yeah, because there's like, they'll figure out
again.
Yeah, they'll figure out some sort of time skip reason for you to teleport back and forth between the eras. But I mean, we do that with the first. We just randomly teleport back and forth, and they gave us a lore reason for it, so they can do that with time skips as well.
They can do whatever they want and make any kind of lore justification. Like, it doesn't. Yeah. It's made up. You can do whatever.
That's true. The problem is obviously that's not going to happen in this expansion because they haven't shown us anything like that. So that's obviously not going to happen. Yeah. No, I don't know. We'll see what they mean, but I don't want to go to like a different planet. We're not even done discovering our own. Are we going to do the first shit again?
Okay, Lakil, but what if you went to a different planet and your jump height was like 2 times higher because lighter gravity? Wouldn't that be fucking hype? That's like the new travel system. We're like, all right, we got swimming, we got flying, now we got bigger jump.
Or the gravity's so high we can't jump on that planet.
Maybe we won't even explore the dragon star, Lakil. Maybe we're going to bring the dragons back there so they can colonize their own planet. Because remember, that's why they left, because it was like being destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get rid of the dragons.
But
we're gonna,
it doesn't mean we have to explore it just because we it's involved.
Then
in the
that's
story.
Not that far. That's just a story point.
Dragons.
They'll be like,
maybe
go back to your star.
There.
Yeah.
Maybe there's one zone there, Lakil. Doesn't mean that we have to explore the entire planet.
I just don't like the idea that we're just going to leave Hydaelyn again. Like, stop giving up on the actual main world, Yoshi-P. Make a story on Hydaelyn again.
You've helped us through 5 expansions.
We have Meracidia. We have the new world. I mean, to be fair, we are getting, Old Charlie, and we're getting Thavnir, and we're getting more on Hydaelyn probably. But yeah.
God, what else about?
And also, we're talking about Endwalker, right? Yeah, the mystery that will be revealed with the saga of Hydaelyn versus Zodiark. So we can't just think that we're going to fucking other planets right now, because we already know most of the locations.
Oh no, we're definitely not going to another planet this expansion.
No, that's what he's talking about.
But no, something will happen in this expansion that will be the basis for the next whole arc. So something major.
Yeah. Something's going to happen in this expansion that will set the stage for the next 10 years.
You rebuild the spaceship.
Space.
You get to customize it, and then you get to decorate your little spaceship on the inside.
That will really disappoint me if we get a space story.
My god, that's it, Rollo. It's first contact with an alien. We're getting first contact by a massive alien species, and we join the Galactic Council.
We're just stuck.
It turns into Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Then we federalize and we become a united federation of stars.
Lieutenant, you're stolen.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Cool.
Starfleet makes sense because they refer to planets as stars.
Oh my god.
There we go. We build. Yeah.
It writes itself.
Yep. Grand companies of Eorzea, they just merge and they become they become Starfleet. There you go. We've done it.
We've done it.
You're welcome, Yoshi-P. You can get that one for free. We've given you a lot of free shit, by the way. You never use them, which is weird. But
when we start having company starships or spaceships, are you
Jesus,
excited, Lakil, for when they start just bringing you back, I don't know, lumber?
Yes.
We've planets cracked an entire world and come up with 17 U lumber.
Oh god. Well, it would make sense if it like goes to other planets, you know? There could be U lumber and other planets.
But
you know,
you'd expect them to bring back
on the
something
U
more
planet.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, you'd expect submarines to bring back something more interesting, and they don't.
True.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so that's what we can. Well, we will find out in 2 weeks what
Maybe.
this will be. Well, I don't
Unless
think
it's really obscure and we're too stupid.
that is possible. But even if we're too stupid, Mela, there's going to be a subreddit that's going to be full of it. So we can
That's
just
true.
go to the subreddit and then read it and be like, "Oh, guys, we figured it out."
But no, don't say that because we actually do have original correct ideas.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, now you're
No,
making it seem like we just
I
do
genuinely do. I try to not read the subreddit when there's like theories floating, so that I can make theories completely untouched by other people. But if we are too stupid, Mela, we can just go to the subreddit and read.
That's true.
What other people have figured out.
So.
Though I will say, we talked about how the logo of Endwalker isn't actually the moon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's we've
Interesting how that started floating around on the internet shortly after, huh?
We make everything. Come on.
Yeah, that's right.
We do.
That's right. Okay.
We're the well of this community.
We're the fucking sinkhole of this community.
we even talked about how we think the hole can be, well, we had many theories about the hole, but I'm thinking more and more that that's like something has come out of it. The more I look at it, I've looked at it a lot. Of course I have. But I feel like it looks like an exit hole. So something has left this planet.
Could be.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I can't wait to see.
That's the big reveal.
What do you think came out of it? Do you think Zodiac or Hyde? Zodiac makes sense, but also maybe it's Amarot, the floating thing that we saw.
Yes, because it had sort of that look. It could be. It just ripped out the planet and is floating above it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just feel like it's not Amarot, but it could be different. I can definitely see it being another ancient city.
It is an ancient. It's got the same design as Amarot, and it makes sense that we have an Amarot in our source as well. I mean, the first has one.
The idea that they claimed in the story at that point was that our version of the ancient ruins were destroyed by the fact that we've experienced 7 calamities at this point.
But what if it actually left the planet and it never actually got blown up? We'll see soon. It could also just be Zodiac's escape hole. But okay, moving on to another story. This is by father of Final Fantasy, you could say. Sakaguchi has been has actually translated an interview, his own interview, or an interview done with him. But is this also Famitsu? This is Famitsu heavy today.
I believe this is also from Famitsu, yeah.
And first of all, very sweet that he's like, oh, you know what? I'll translate it for you. And it's like real old man shit, because it's like he's translated it in like word editor on a Mac, and then he has taken a photo of the document from his computer, which has like it even has it's a screenshot, and it's even the fucking. It even has like the title of the document, dear _FF14.RTFD. and it's just a JPEG.
That photo makes him seem even older than he is.
Oh,
like,
that's true.
Thinking that he's
That
getting
would-
out his phone and take a picture. Of
Now
the
that would be
monster.
peak. That would be peak. No, it is a screenshot, and it is actually
That's what
properly.
Yoshi-P would do.
Yeah, that's true. It is properly cropped. It's perfectly cropped. You could say. But all right, let's go.
Beautiful.
He should be pretty decent at English because apparently he lives in Hawaii now.
Oh,
He does, yeah.
Well, there you
he
go.
does.
Also,
That's
we
where the
learned yesterday
studio is.
that Final Fantasy IX was developed in Hawaii.
Wow.
And it's partially developed in in Square Enix's defunct Honolulu division.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah,
At a Honolulu division?
yeah. There's literally like
Apparently.
you can get an Aloha shirt. Actually, you can get 8 that you can wear so your characters actually change appearance.
No, they
feel
don't
like that
though.
was-
They don't actually change appearance. This is called an Aloha shirt. It has bad stats, and it was just an Easter egg because they made it part especially in
Oh
Hawaii.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's true. Chat couldn't decide on whether or not it was visible. Yeah, completely pointless. Completely pointless. Anyways,
Worth money though. You can sell them.
that's true. 9,500 gil. All right. Sakaguchi translated this interview, so I'll just read it for you now. Well, it's not the whole interview; it's just one part of it. About encounters. Encounters with nostalgic characters. I knew that Chocobo was going to be in the game, but I was really surprised and felt this nostalgia when I encountered the monsters designed by Amano-san, like the fat Chocobo mounts and monsters all around the map, making me feel like I was at my first junior high and high school reunion. The dot-drawn goblins had been transformed into CG with Amano-san's colors. I felt like I was giving these monsters a huge hug, all the while slashing my way through their health gauges. So that's one part. Yeah, he's often, you can find him in like streams now. He often joins Woolhead when he streams as well.
Yes.
It's quite fun because he gets very excited when he sees a reference to an old Final Fantasy game. So okay, Mirror Prism. Mirror
Prisms.
Yeah, Mirror appearance is very important in MMOs. It is also a way to show off the strength of the weapons and armor you are wearing. I thought it was great that they used the Glamour Prism method to make it more fashionable. It satisfies both the performance and appearance needs of the game. When I got to a certain level, I got a shiny weapon from the market and glamored it. Then then I wrapped myself in the Final Fantasy I Amano-san packaged armor I got from Crystal Tower. Looks are very important. Then I congratulated everyone, including Matsuno-san, saying, "It's a miracle that you can get everything in 2 rounds."
He
It's
looks
very
cool.
lucky
He's
that he
got
apparently
Yeah. Sorry?
Go on.
Yes, Miller?
Go on.
I was gonna say it's cool that he's got the Warrior of Light gear from Crystal Tower with like what is that, the Seiryu blade?
I don't know.
I think no, it's
Sweet.
is it Thornton? It's like the glowy one. I think that might be
Yeah.
Thornton. But yeah.
be.
What I was
Thorn.
going to say is he's very lucky if he managed to get the whole Warrior of Light set in 2 runs of Crystal Tower.
You know that everyone's
Labyrinth of the
fucking
Ancients.
God, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That took me a while to collect those ones.
Well, there you go. That's
Well, there's 2 more.
Sakaguchi.
There's 2 more parts to this.
Oh my god, you're right. But that's not been linked in the
I
document.
can't get over these fucking
In the document.
Is it?
screenshots.
I put them there.
Where?
Underneath. Yeah.
There's 3 links to twitterimage.com.
Are we on the same document right now?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh no. Well, I don't see you in the document anymore, unless you're.
No, I don't see you in the document. Are you disconnected? Is your love?
Oh, does it not? Sorry, there's been a storm. Wait, my internet would have died if that was the case.
That's true.
Okay, well, I'll.
Anyway,
I'll-
we're in episode 274 show notes.
Yeah, that is same. Same.
You go, Lakiel, if you want the links.
I'm gonna just open it. Oh God.
Oh, there you go. Now you're in.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it didn't.
Remember to cut this from the episode.
It hasn't synced.
No,
Oh,
keep
God,
this
what's
in.
this fucking
leave it
time
in.
code? To write that on my arm.
You like my fast shirt? It's official NASCAR merch, by the way.
All right, now we have to get rid of it.
He's cutting this part out, so it's fine.
0101. Let's say 30. All right. Okay. Next, the thrill of flying. The best moment for me was when I soared into the sky with my chocobo. Of course, I was also impressed when I got my own chocobo, or when I cleared a dungeon or a raid for the first time. But among them, the first time I flew was badass. When you enter a new world, you have to complete the Wind Vane quest, albeit a bit tedious, lol, before you can glide.
Glide?
Yeah, that's right, we glide. So, you will experience the pleasure of flying over the land you have been running around on many times. And every time I do, I'm amazed at the changes in the scenery I see from high in the sky, and I'm moved by how much more beautiful and different it looks. Flying is wonderful.
No.
It's a good end. Flying is wonderful.
Flying is wonderful. Final Fantasy theme park. Recently, there have been a lot of theme park areas dedicated to video games, and I've been looking at them from the side and feeling a little jealous. Right around then, I entered the world of Final Fantasy XIV. It was nothing short of a Final Fantasy theme park. I met Amano's character, flew across the sky in a chocobo, and adventured and fought with the other players who visited this world. It's wonderful. This was a true game theme park, and Final Fantasy had already gotten the best of both worlds. I realized there was no need to be envious at all. I'd like to thank the staff who created this world, their 8 years of sincere effort, and their abundant talent. This is an amazing world. It's a theme park full of Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy has become the final reality in virtual world.
What?
Yes,
I like
perfect.
how I feel about that last line.
Final reality.
It's the final reality,
That's
guys.
the new series.
Yeah.
Final Reality 1.
Yeah, that's his
Again.
words. That's his words.
His words.
There's another. Wait, there's no more, right?
There's one more.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I just read the last one?
You
Yeah,
did read the
that's
last
right.
one before you read the second one, but
They're all
Oh,
disjointed. it
God,
doesn't
this is
really matter.
very fucking confusing.
The one you want has a picture of Lakeland.
Why
these
why aren't
salty
my
dragons.
documents syncing anymore? Whatever. It was beautiful. Sorry, scenery. It was beautiful. For example, I couldn't move an inch in the peach-purple forest at the Shadowbringer starting point. I kept taking pictures, shaken by the beauty. I felt like it was a waste of time to take a step forward. Not only the grandeur of the natural terrain, but also the uniquely designed things for this world are excellent. The designers are doing the best job they can. Most recently, Ilmeg. In that fairy space, even the mounts seemed to be assimilated into the world, enveloped in a nebulous spirit. I have to take my hat off to the originality and taste of the decorations, such as the electric lights that look like flowers attached to cotton wool dandelions. The graphical tricks of the dungeon were also amazing. The dungeons are not only full of CG backgrounds, but also full of gimmicks that give a sense of surprise and attraction. In one battlefield, I felt as if I were a battlefield photographer, as I love to take pictures of shells flying in the distance and parachutes falling. Very specific.
He's got a real... Yeah, he knows what he likes.
Yeah. The
I
system.
just imagine
go on.
him walking through dungeons and saying things like Reen does when she's in.
This is where you
Dominic.
cue the Shatner sound bites. Oh, wow.
absolutely.
Wow. Oh my god.
If you ever got queued with him, you might as well just leave because it's not going to be able to win.
Okay, the system. It took about 8 years to create this game, but not only because of the time it took, but also because of the sheer complexity and variety of the game, which showed off the staff's obsession in a good way. The breadth and depth of the system is still not clear to me. Of course, it's only been a month or so since I started playing, so that's to be expected. But I should be able to grasp the shape of the system with my senses due to my profession. But it's still deep. It's so deep that I want to get into it. Let's go further and further. I'm sure that in another 30 years or so, this Final Fantasy XIV will look like the Matrix. It will have sublimated into an absolute virtual space.
Good lord, he's got.
I mean,
the
we're
final
getting
reality.
blazing reviews here from... So he has lost his mind in this game.
He loves it.
Well, that's good.
like
It's
that.
approved by Papa FF, but it's it's a lot. he's had a profound experience with this game.
Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. Sakaguchi praising
Loves
Final
it.
Fantasy 14.
It's weird that it took him this long to give it a go, but I guess MMOs are time consuming.
Yeah, I don't know
And
if he
not
ever
everyone's cup of tea.
did. Sakaguchi ever play 11? I wonder.
Honestly,
he saw
Luke,
that
I
shit.
feel like
He was like, nah.
yeah, he's got a better thing to do with his life than waste them on that game.
Well, you know what? He might not have played. They might not have played 14 because of 11, because 11 was made when MMOs were like that, and you love shitting on 11. I'm just gonna ignore that.
Yeah, I was gonna say these people are making so much fun of 11. I was doing it last week as well, and I'm just thinking about the comments from the last VOD, and people saying, "Oh, these people are bullying 11."
Yeah, you
I
are.
want to play 11. I mean, it kind of looks like shit, but like I like shit sometimes.
I like shit sometimes.
That's so true, right? I want to play it, but
Like, let's look at people like fucking OG RuneScape. RuneScape looks like ass. Like OG RuneScape, it kind of plays like ass too, but people like it.
I will be the lone
Sometimes-
defender of 11 on this podcast. I am okay
Sometimes
with
people
that.
like ass.
I know what you mean, Rada. I know what you mean.
That's true. Truer words never been spoken. Sometimes people like ass. Yes.
You guys have been gifted a lot of very good clips. I want to see these later.
So there you go. Yeah, I think he may not have played 14 because 11 was such a different, like, it's such a classic MMO, and it's like, there's no way I'm going to get into that. Then he played 14.
Such a waste of time. Or not a waste, but a time sink.
It's too much for him to like get into. Yes, 11 is very complex.
He's a game designer. He's got a job.
Right.
He can't be like the people who play 11 who.
Does he still work? That doesn't work anymore. I thought he retired.
He is retired.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why he's playing now. Yeah, because he's retired now.
Yeah.
Might just spend time in place kind of thing, where it's like, you know.
In his Honolulu mansion.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a mansion, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why he moved to Hawaii, so that he could retire in like luxury, or at least a nice place.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure Sakaguchi had like he was kept, updated on 11. I mean, he's a big guy in Final Fantasy, so
he's heard of it.
Yeah, 11 can't give you the experience that 14 does, though. I will admit that.
No.
The theme park aspect is not present. Like, 11 is a more contained world, like its own
Yeah, I was
world.
going to say, 11 is much more its own.
Yeah.
It doesn't borrow as much from other games.
When
That may be a good thing.
when it does, it's like baked in, and it's like more like a vague reference. But yeah, there's like
in some ways
Tomos.
that's better than what we have.
There are positives and negatives. There's pros and
Then
cons
it's like its
for
own
both
world,
systems.
whereas like Eorzea feels like a world, but then the Omega stuff, as an example.
Yeah, but
very
I
disjointed.
accept the Omega stuff because it's like contained in its own world.
Yeah,
like it literally tells you like this is its own. This is just. It doesn't affect the world. What's happening there?
No. It's,
Okay. You could argue if Dalmasca ever becomes like an actual part of the main lore, it technically is already. That's more of a that would probably not happen in 11 because that's literally just 12 that's now coming into the world. Okay. That's all we have for recent events. Let's read a couple of MogMails from you, the viewer, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. I forgot the menu, the address. There you go. The
menu.
Bye. It's from AJ Brainswordson. Based on previous this is long. Okay, never mind. Based on previous interview question, it seems Yoshi-P wasn't sure if 6.0 was going to be Endwalker, i.e. the end of the Hydaelyn and Zodiac story. Maybe Endwalker was going to be going to be 7.0 instead. So what would this alternate 6.0 have been? My theory is that this would have been the Ilsebard Garlean themed expansion that Mela so desperately has wanted. And I think the final boss would have been Varus based on his setup in 4.55 and recent interviews saying that they had already made battle animations for Varus, and that's why they added him to the Bosnia storyline instead of Gabranth. I'm sure Endwalker is going to be good, but part of me definitely wishes we'd gotten this middle expansion. Right now, it feels a little like we're skipping a chapter, rushing to the end, and this podcast has discussed previously why Yoshi-P might want to do that. Looking at the maps from the media tour, it seems as though we're going straight from the locks to Garlemald and bypassing so much territory. It feels quite disconnected and almost feels like a waste of potential, although I'm sure they'll do more with these provinces in the future. What do you guys think about this? Do you wish we'd gotten this middle expansion too, or are you happy that we're skipping to the end of the Hydaelyn Zodiarch arc? If only so that you don't have to hear the words Hydaelyn and Zodiarch arc again. Yeah, this is a good point. And not something we've really touched. I believe we might have talked about this like a little bit, but yeah, they did say he definitely gave the impression that he was debating whether or not we were going to have, one more expansion before the end. I know for sure we've talked about that. And if you look at it like right now, it does feel like it's happening very quickly. Like all of a sudden, Garlemald just falls, and like remember we were at war at the end of Stormblood, and then there was like a sudden like.
Well, it's very unrealistic, isn't it? Really. How can the biggest empire in the world lose like 2 provinces, and now suddenly it's in a civil war?
Right. It's if you step back and look at the like consistency of the story, there's something that happens at the end of Stormblood where the story sort of feels like it's trying to rush things to like get us to Endwalker. And I mean, Shadowbringers doesn't even really address the Garlean Empire at all until we're like I mean, there's like meanwhile in the Imperial Palace, which is like 2 minutes. I think there's like is that where we roleplay as Estinian? Is that the end of?
That's not until 5.1.
Yeah, so right, 5.0 doesn't address it at all.
The Estinian Gaia stuff does appear throughout the
right
Shadowbringers storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with AJ, but then in a way, Shadowbringers feels like, if you really look at it, almost like a filler in a way.
It's
like
weird
they've taken us away from the main world and the main story to have this bit.
Yeah. So okay, so let's when we say fast, we're not talking about like empire. When an empire starts to crumble, it happens very quickly. Like when the top goes, everything goes, right? It's a house of cards and all that shit. But we're talking about like the structure of the story and like what we expect to happen in the story. Like Garlemald was teased since 1.0. And now when we actually thought we were going to get like this deep Garlean themed expansion, it just gets destroyed, and it's not about that at all. That's why, we know that there was probably going to be an alternative here where Endwalker wasn't until 7.0, that there would be a Garlean themed expansion, maybe all about the fall or collapse of the Garlean Empire.
I mean, part of my issue with it as well is that we've been expecting to go to Ilsabard since A Realm Reborn, and I guess before that.
Yeah.
And the time we finally get there is when the main attraction has already been destroyed.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of people are fine with this, and I'm fine with it. I don't, whatever they decide, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
But consider even Stormblood. The trailer for Stormblood shows Ilsabard as we pan past it, like with thunder cracking, and like and we were like, oh my god, Garlemald. Didn't get Garlemald. No. We thought Shadowbringers was going to be like, oh, Garlemald, because he said we're going to take on Garlemald. Didn't get Garlemald. And then we're like, okay, the next expansion, that's the because now things are ramping up. There's war, like we're like ceasefire right now, but there's all this Black Rose shit. It was all this build up. Didn't get Garlemald at all in Shadowbringers, and now Endwalker. It's destroyed already.
And this expansion, Endwalker, we finally get to Garlemald.
Yeah.
It's still got clouds on the map, Ilsabard.
Yes, that's true. They might lift the clouds.
Uncover it.
Well, they might lift the clouds when the game is launched, Mela.
I think that they will, Mela, but they don't want to do it yet because all of Ilsabard will be destroyed.
Yes.
Oh god.
And they don't want to show you 2 versions of the map with it not destroyed and with it destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it might be a loss in terms of like being able to experience Garlemald as it was, like, well, as it technically is right now. Well, no, actually, at this point, it's quite unpleasant to be there in the story, but as it used to be, we will probably never experience that, which is unfortunate. But then again, I think they had to do this because of the one thing we always brought up when we talked about Garlemald, and that is the same reason we say that how can an empire fall that quickly? Garlemald is hard to get into. And we don't know how the fuck we would be able to walk around in the capital of the Garlean Empire. It would be impossible for us to do that. And it would be very weird lore-wise. So, I don't know.
What were you going to say, Rolly?
I'm going to say, I feel like they could never really do Garlemald justice in the first place. And maybe they kind of realize that.
Yeah.
Maybe from the reception from Alamigo or not. I don't know. But like... so everyone wants, Garlemald to be a big city, you know. Like, it's the place where people live. It's the capital. It's crazy.
Yes.
It can't be the Tome City.
No.
It can't be the other city.
That's
the other
true.
Major settlement.
No.
Yeah, I see. That's the problem, isn't it? It would have to be like an overworld, or they would have to do something new, like introduce a city that doesn't have those amenities, and that's weird.
My theory was always that like you would get access to a small like enclave of Garlemald at the very end of the story. That would make it the Tome City.
Okay, yeah.
And then possibly for the next expansion, you would get access to the rest of the city as the like main city of that expansion.
Right. Yeah, that could work. Yeah.
I mean, it could have worked. It will not work now.
No.
Well,
no.
But all we're getting is like broken Garlemald in that snowy area. But I mean, I wanted like 3 Ilsabard zones because I think about the lore there. There's like that's where the Hrothgar are from.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any Hrothgar lore. It's got probably got loads of little settlements of hard up Garleans who can't live in the city, and it'd be interesting to see how they live.
Yeah.
And it might not be all snow. It might have some interesting architecture or terrain or whatever.
Definitely not all snow on Ilsabard.
No.
The whole continent can't be covered in snow.
No.
No, it just
And we got a brief glimpse with Turncliffe, which looks like an FF8 town.
Right.
So I just feel like we might have lost a lot from Ilsabard, and it makes me a bit sad. But
and AJ also brings up the Varys thing. It would explain this like sudden just like throwing him away when he has this weird setup at the end, and then he's in the next expansion he's just killed.
Varys is one of the greatest points of like lost potential, I think. But I also feel like Varys was like a casualty of them possibly thinking they didn't have enough for a whole Garlean themed expansion.
Yeah. Which is quite weird because Garlemald has a lot of interesting things. There's like all of these like remember he has like family, like Xenos has like there's the whole royal imperial line. We don't even know who like the anyone else is in this fucking family, but apparently there's enough to cause like a war of succession. So there's all that. There's so much lore tied to Garlemald that I shouldn't speak too soon. We don't know how much lore we're actually going to get.
Still get a lot of Garlean stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, like enough to satisfy people.
Yeah.
But I think just after Shadowbringers, like going through it, and then them just they're a puppet. Making the big puppet the antagonists, I wouldn't be as interested. It'd be like, okay, now we're kind of like dragging this out.
Yeah,
like I'm kind of fine with it being sped up a little bit because, like, all right, let's end this arc. We've been here for a long time. Let's just get through it. Totally fine with it.
Do you also think that Varys was killed off because Xenos outshined him? They thought he is not as interesting as Xenos. Well, it's better because if in a world where Varys doesn't die, he's the Emperor of Garlemald still in the following expansion. Would you rather have Varys in the trailer be like,
I
remember what
Varys.
he's like.
Varys is a much more interesting character.
I
than
agree.
Xenos, at least
I
up to
agree.
this
I don't
point.
like
He was
Xenos.
defiant to the Ascians.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never liked Xenos, but I'm talking
I
as like
have.
a PR perspective because that they clearly think Xenos is the hottest shit right now because everyone wants his fat cake.
Can you imagine?
No,
like,
Japan
watching-
loves Xenos.
I know.
Because they think he's Sephiroth.
Everyone except for like a couple of like every time we talk about Xenos, they come out. The Xenos defenders with and I know you just want his fat cake. That's all you want, his big ass.
He doesn't even have a fat cake.
It was a lie.
It was a lie.
He's
So that's
big.
funny.
He's-
That's funny. How much do you like Xenos now that you see he doesn't have much of a cake?
Now that you see he has a pancake
Yeah.
ass, how do you feel?
Yeah, how do you feel now?
He looks better now, but that doesn't mean I like him.
No.
You actually like how his new costume?
Looks
I think
flat
I
as a
like
sheet.
his new costume.
Oh no,
think it's
I
cool.
liked his not. I don't care as much for the outfit he's wearing in the new trailer. I like the outfit he wore between the fat cake and what he wears. now.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah.
outfit he wore like once.
Yeah.
That was way better. And then they got rid of
Hey.
it. And it's like,
The Dissidia one?
It's used in Dissidia NT.
yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Important.
Okay. So, it would have been a very different expansion because Varys would have been the main villain probably, which maybe it was a good choice because I mean I like Varys and his story is just cut short now. Don't know anything about what his actual plans were.
I suspect we'll get some Varys lore still in this expansion.
Yeah, there's still stuff to explore there.
Yeah, but it's gonna
I just
be
don't want.
yeah.
I just don't want another expansion that would have been like, the Ascian comes into the background and it plays the.
But that's technically what we're
Heaven's
getting though. We have Fandaniel still.
We have Fandaniel, but this is like, I don't know, more important fallout from it. Also, some shit's happening around the entire planet.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm tired of the Ascian background scheming being the focal point of,
Yeah.
Well, that's why
everything here.
we killed the major ones off in Shadowbringers.
Exactly. So now we're free.
Okay, well there you go. I'm sad that we have missed possibly some character development for Varys and some Garlean Empire lore, possibly. But
Yeah, but it would mean we'd have another 2 years of this.
Yeah.
Waiting on what the conclusion would be.
yes, that's true. All right, thank you, AJ. Do we have? No, we do not. We do.
No,
we
I
should
don't think we
probably
have
jump
time.
on.
Yeah, we should get to the main story. But thank you everyone who sent in questions. Remember to send in at speakersxiv.com/mogmail. All right, so let's see, where are we? We are on the
third last dot point on the side.
the struggles that plagued Yoshi-P during Shadowbringer's conception. Right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we're jumping straight in. So this is a continuation of last week's and episode 267's reading of this interview. Okay. When creating new zones for upcoming... This is Famitsu asking. When creating new zones for upcoming expansions, is their conception point based around the story and ideas come out of that as you work your way through? Yoshida says, all work related to zone creation was done in parallel. First, we decide on the expansion's theme for the expansion, and then work to divide tasks into smaller chunks, so that team members can simultaneously work on different things. Actually, when I started working on the concept behind Shadowbringers, there was an image in my mind of A Realm Reborn. I thought of creating an alternative version of A Realm Reborn and actually struggled quite a lot with that one. Okay. Yeah, that was also a thing we talked about when it came out. It's like, this is Yoshi-P's A Realm Reborn. Like, this is his Eorzea. Famitsu says, this is really interesting. I would like to hear more about it. Ishida says, at that time, we wanted to add flying mounts to our Realm Reborn zones, but we were unable to secure the budget for it. With the release of Shadowbringers, we added flying mount zones that are a parallel world version of our Realm Reborn zones. We had the idea to create an experience allowing players to travel between existing A Realm Reborn zones and new parallel worlds. Right. Remember, I just remembered that. Remember when we actually figured out that they were adding flying zones before it actually happened? Because someone just bumped into like a barrier, and we're like, wait, there shouldn't be barriers here, and that's how we knew we're getting flying in a realm reborn.
They also did the updated models at the same time, right?
Yes, because all of a sudden the models started to change around us as well. Yeah. It ended up being something like a reversed world. It made me really curious about what areas you had in mind. Yoshida says, this is just an example, but due to the imminent threat of the first merging with the source, zones in the first and the source are very close to each other, as in their dimensional boundaries are on the cusp of overlapping with each other. That's the idea.
Hang on, that's interesting.
Dimensional boundaries.
Because we were talking about how like the cosmology works with these shards, and he's suggesting that they're like almost overlapping now.
Yeah.
And also that affects the appearance. That feels unlikely.
I mean, it's nonsense. It can be as likely or as unlikely as it wants to be.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. The first would have been completely destroyed if there had been one more event triggering the rejoining. Therefore, the story takes the Warrior of Light back and forth between the two worlds and to prevent it from happening. The idea originally was, once the story progresses to the end after the original zones in the first are replaced with their final forms, players would be able to unlock flying mounts. Oh. It was meant to kill two birds with one stone. Interesting. And then he laughs. I pushed for that idea for quite a while and tried to see if it could be achieved, but in the end, it never came to fruition.
So, what I'm taking away from this is like, as the first and the source synchronize closer together, unlocking flying on the first was supposed to unlock flying on the source, but unfortunately they didn't have the time to do that until 5.3.
No.
That would have been a nice idea.
Yeah. I'm the type of person who finds things more interesting if the system updates are made with story and plot integration in mind, over just doing so for the sake of developers' convenience. So I thought it would be better to get that done this expansion so people would think we were doing something amazing. Okay. It's a really interesting idea. Why wasn't it realized? Yoshi-P says, the biggest issue ended up being that no matter what we did, it'd end up plain. Even though the first and the source were similar but different in nature, the areas in the source were already too visually familiar, so I thought, well, that definitely won't work. As such, we decided to adopt the idea that zones in the first are similar but different in nature and composed with the same ether. There you go. Okay. Establishing protagonists while keeping the differences in perspective between Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest in mind. Interesting headline. All right. In an MMORPG, as the players themselves are the game's protagonists, there is a level of difficulty in how much personality you can assign to the main character. As it is hard for the story to strongly proclaim, this is what you really are, throughout, it is difficult to give proper definition to their position as main character in an online game. However, I personally felt that Shadowbringers managed to subvert expectations and made this challenge its strength. For example, during that final battle with Hades, I was very impressed during the scene where warriors of light from other worlds were summoned, and I think that was a scene only possible in an online game. Was it due to accumulated past experience that allowed you to utilize players as the protagonist and turn it into a key story element? All that was Famitsu, by the way. I know that kind of sounded like Yoshi-P talking, but yeah. That's just how they ask questions here. Just lots of praise and then a question at the end. All right, Yoshida. It wasn't like this was something we aimed for from the beginning. I myself used to work on the Dragon Quest, henceforth referred to as DQ series. So I
Dairy Queen?
Dairy Queen, yeah. So I do have an emotional attachment to RPGs in which the players themselves are the protagonist. The biggest difference between DQ and FF is the aspect of players themselves as the main character. Something Hori-san, which is the creator of Dragon Quest, has said before.
Shouldn't call someone a whore.
Wow. It's okay because he put san there.
Yeah,
Riveting
it's
banter
Hori-san.
here on Speakers.
Yeah,
Mr.
really
Hor.
good. This is why we are the worst podcast. I do not wish for the main character to act on their own. In the past, even player characters simply nodding during cutscenes was a topic of contention. Recently, I've been asked to loosen the reins a butt. This is why we are the worst podcast. But I do feel it's best to adopt a similar mindset to what Hori-san has for DQ. Yeah? How do you feel about the nodding?
I love it.
Yeah?
It's a thing. It's a thing of it's like one of the few personality aspects of our characters that's very concrete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think just to add a little more sometimes. we can do like the harsh fun, like
Yeah.
No, I
We
feel...
do get that added sometimes.
Every now and then they do that.
Sometimes.
But yeah, it's
But
mostly just the nod, which has become
we're
a meme.
nodding so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel it
a
suits
little
me.
bit more.
Yeah.
Well,
Suits my
they've been
character.
trying to give us more and more like decision points.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Okay. Famitsu asks, may I know the reason why? Yoshida says, there are many Dragon Quest players who use their own name when playing. On the other hand, characters who represent the Final Fantasy franchise as a whole, such as Cloud Strife, were created with strong personalities that gave players the opportunity to experience the story being told through that character's eyes. However, when creating an online game for the Final Fantasy series, it's a different story. Something I myself know very well as a longtime MMORPG player, from the player's perspective, the awareness that I am myself can often be very strong.
Very existential thing. You know?
I am myself. I am myself.
I'm real.
I'm real.
We all become Descartes for a bit.
Yeah. Since players create their own character, their existence itself is truly unique. So creating an MMORPG which keeps that fact in mind creates some difficult contradictions. I personally want Final Fantasy to be a story where the main character dramatically saves the world. On the other hand, the story portrays the players as the character you created, your alter ego, a hero of sorts, similarly to Dragon Quest. First off, revamping Final Fantasy XIV, we decided that players must be the main character themselves. Players will not act as the observer that accompanies other characters to save the world. Their position is at the center of the story.
That's much more of an issue in 1.0, isn't it?
Yeah, and in most MMOs, like World of Warcraft has the same thing, where you are observing. Yeah.
You are just some dude.
Yeah. In 1.0, they sort of go... It's close to A Realm Reborn. You're part of the story, but you are... I think you were always like an adventurer. In the Living on a Prayer questline with Louis Soir, you are literally in the center. So that's Yoshi-P. So Yoshi-P's story always wanted to bring the character into the center.
But until then, you will approach this story with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, you weren't really affecting the main story, so to speak.
A 10-foot pole called the Path Companion.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
want to be
Being
second
pulled
banana.
into it.
Right. Okay, even though... So when I say that, that's the untouched story, that the original launch, don't get me, 1.0 players. Even though Final Fantasy is a series that requires drama revolving around the main protagonist, following the decision mentioned above, I learned from Hori-san's direction and policies and decided to impose considerably strict restrictions in emotes the player performs during cutscenes. Thanks to this, there should be few scenes where the Warrior of Light nods their head. Okay. There we go. Famitsu says, the only time the Warriors of Light nodded their head was when they were presented with specific choices they had to make. Shida says, because the player's intent intervenes. I think it was around the end of Heavensward that we started allowing this. After that, we gradually eased up on allowed movements as we explored player reactions as well as up to the threshold of drama we'd include in various cutscenes. The scene in Stormblood, where players were visibly frustrated after losing the battle with Xenos, was probably the first turning point for expressing the Warrior of Light's emotions. Yeah, I guess it was. Before then,
I'm
it
going
was...
to bring up another one that was earlier.
Which one was that?
They're about to say.
Oh, they're about to say it. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
The Warrior of Light's expressions during the scene with Horshafont, there we go, in Heavensward, was also impressive. Yoshida says, we did our best to adjust that scene as much as we could, but in the end, we only managed for the character to express themselves by looking down and closing their eyes, even after giving the camera a top-down angle. After that, Our policy for the Warrior of Light's emotional expressions range started to spread within the development team. The player is the protagonist, the one who saves the world. Now that in itself is fine and all, but the final remaining question was who the other 7 characters appearing in the story to defeat the Primals would be. Famitsu says, I remember that there used to be discussions about that during A Realm Reborn. Yes. Yoshida says, that happened quite a lot. Laughs bitterly. At the time, I had to give vague answers like, maybe they were dispatched by the Adventurers Guild. That was a popular one. I remember that, but that's probably because he said it now that I think about it, yeah. Or something along those lines. That makes sense in the lore story, like in A Realm Reborn anyways, that, you know, you're part of the Adventurers Guild. You still are. I mean, you never left the Adventurers Guild. Around
you gonna say something, Rollo?
Yeah, Rollo?
That isn't the official reason now, like, our entourage, almost.
Yes,
I feel like they mention entourage almost in a...
Yeah, maybe they have...
They mention it before Susano. I feel like there might be other instances, but there are definitely... I feel like there are certainly some trials that, like, we're supposedly by ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, I think Thornton is a solo fight, canonically.
Yeah. Okay, Yoshida says, around patch 4.x, that excuse gradually became more unusable, as during that part in the story, there's a trial where the Warrior of Light and others blessed with the Echo have to prevent characters from becoming tempered by reflecting back ether energy being released by the Primal Lakshmi. The Scions are set up to have the story's main characters in one place, in addition to characters who have the Echo. Famitsu tries to help Yoshi-P here by saying, they could be reinforcements from the Scions coming to help win the battle against the Primals. Yoshida says, even the story flow was along the lines of requesting help from you, a group of adventurers, to defeat the Primals, wasn't it? Sure, the players might have used their own connections to bring together a group of friends who can't be tempered, which may be a bit deceptive, but I'm afraid that's no longer possible. Laughs. In the first, there's no way to summon other Scion members to help them defeat enemies you face. Famitsu says that's true and laughs. Yoshida says, Yoshida says, since Stormblood, the whole topic, we are catching glimpses of other worlds, so it'll work out if we summon them, was actually a partial joke at the time. Afterwards, when we began discussing Shadowbringer's story direction before the battle against Hades, Ishikawa suggested once again the idea of using the Crystal Exarch's power to summon other fragments of the Warrior of Light's soul through the dimensional rift. Thinking of the moment where the Warrior of Light's companions rise up from the light pillar, I felt we managed to integrate it well into the story, since Azem wields the ability to call upon the stars when and where he needs them. So just
since
as...
when?
What?
Since now.
Yeah.
Since when is that a power? Yeah, when is Azem a specific... When did they tell us Azem could do that?
Well,
that's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, that is true. So, just as you asked, when we were planning out how the scene at the dying gasp would play out, as a team we felt convinced that it was possible precisely because Final Fantasy XIV is an online game. Well, they told us in 5... I was waiting for that. They told us in 5.3. There you go. Thank God we said that on now, so we don't have to deal with a million comments about how we don't know anything. Okay, Famitsu says, after looking at the scene of that final battle, I'm really convinced. Yoshida says, however, you'll see frogs and piglets summoned after the Shadowbringers release. Laughs bitterly.
You put them in the game.
Yeah. Famitsu says, people were saying that as this emotionally charged scenes... What? People were saying that as this emotionally charged scene brings you to tears... Oh, sorry. You'll see characters in a variety of costumes appearing one after the other. Laughs. They're having a good fucking time right now. They're sitting here laughing, cracking jokes. Yoshida says, and now you can even see chickens appear. Laughs. Slaps his knee.
I mean, you gotta admit, if you're doing the Warrior of Light trial, and you're like, oh, you clutch the thing of Azim, and you hope and wish.
Yeah.
And you just see all these fucking weirdos, and chocobo costumes,
yeah.
and shiny gold butler outfits.
Yes, true.
Yeah, all in this together.
Yeah.
I mean, we could be summoning them from any time in their lives. They might not have been prepared for this. They might have been in their weird fucking fursuit scenarios.
Yeah.
When we just pulled them into this fight against the Warrior of Light, they weren't expecting this.
They could have been on like the 9th equivalent of the Hermit's Hovel.
That's true. That's true.
I will say it is good though. They at least know what to do once they get here.
That's true.
It's like that one picture of like that dude in the bandana has like no idea what to do, no idea where I am. All I know is I must kill.
Okay, Famitsu says, thinking back, I believe most of the party members that time tended to equip proper, decent outfits when I experienced that moment for the first time. Yoshida says, in order to make that happen, we made it possible for players to obtain the job-specific gear, which we call artifact gear, before fighting Hades. Ah, I see. Yoshida says, I wanted the players to fight in their form that most closely symbolized Final Fantasy. Why did Famitsu say, literally just repeat what he said? This is literally what the follow-up to that is. You allowed players to obtain artifact equipment prior to fighting against Hades instead of after clearing the dying gasp. Yes, thank you, Famitsu. I believe that's what Yoshi-P literally just said, but thanks. Yoshida says, that's right. There were 2 issues with obtaining artifact equipment after reaching max level.
Maybe they both passed out due to a gas leak during this interview.
But Yoshi-P, did you allowed players to... they just keep getting stuck. They just keep forgetting. The first issue was already mentioned above, where doing so will end up potentially creating a lackluster scene when battling against Hades. The other issue is that the value of artifact gear will decrease due to being able to purchase level 80 tombstone equipment. To prevent that from happening, we made job-specific gear obtainable within the prerequisite main story quest. Shadowbringers is a story that focuses primarily on the main character, so I thought this would be a chance to encourage people to queue for content while using their job-specific gear. Since most players who cleared the game during the early stages were wearing their artifact gear, they likely would have joined together with eight players whose appearance all bring out that Final Fantasy feel.
Yeah,
however,
it was good the first time.
However, I think after roughly 4 to 5 weeks from that point, the number of players with toad heads and suits gradually increased. ... Yeah.
Good old toad head.
I mean, it's...
Yeah. That's how it is. That's how it is.
It's an online game. I can ruin your immersion if I want to. I'm having fun.
Whatever.
Fuck you.
I know I'm playing an online game, so that's how it is. Yeah.
I wonder we haven't seen it yet because I teased the Toad outfit prior to the release of Shadowbringers. I wonder what the equivalent will be from whatever endgame fate there is in Endwalker.
Yeah.
God, I hope it's a massive mushroom hat.
That'd be funny.
I feel like
and it's like
related.
flabby, like it's like oh, that would be funny.
That would be good.
Poo-poo outfit.
Oh, poo-poo. We're not going to
As
get
in the
poo-poo.
creature from Final Fantasy IX, not
What is it with you guys and
8.
poo-poos?
Poo-poos
They're
are
so
cute.
cute. Oh, 8, sorry, yeah.
They're very cute, Rollo.
They're really cute. And if it's not on the moon, Rollo, I'm uninstalling and unsubbing.
There's 100% going to be. Please, I'm 99% going to be a poo-poo reference. At
There
least.
has to be. If there's not a single reference to poo-poo in this, I'll be really upset.
Yeah, same.
What if Poo-Poo's like the SS rank or whatever?
I don't want to kill Poo-poo.
No,
but we can't kill it. It's so nice.
Oh,
so it just gets to live on the moon
if we ever had a mob that the only way is to like survive, like to like clear it, is to not kill it, it would never be cleared because there's always that fucker that's like, oh, I killed it.
Yeah.
I killed it. There's always going to be someone killing it constantly. That would be a very good, actually. That would be a really difficult fate to like finish.
It'd be cool if there's like a dungeon on the moon, and like the second mid boss is similar to the second mid boss of Barden's Metal, and you just have to do a bunch of things that Poo-Poos ask you to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Famitsu says, that was the moment where I first became truly mesmerized by my own avatar, and that really left an impression on me when he did the final fight.
In Shadowbringers?
When he did the fight with...
took you
it took a while, didn't it?
Care about your character? Okay.
Yoshida says, glad to hear that. That moment during the final confrontation with Emmett Selk was precisely the scene that made players feel like, I'm the main character, don't you think? The line, I challenge you, Emmett Selk, was a line that players are able to say out loud. I do feel that we really did portray that well.
I am going to say that I think a greater proportion of people than would be willing to admit said that out loud as they chose that option.
Which one of you said it out loud?
Not me.
No, I wouldn't say that out loud.
I think I did.
Yeah, I think you're the only one in this one that said that out loud.
I knew you
That's
would.
why I said a greater proportion of people than would admit it.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. People will say that.
Yeah. I don't remember.
clapped.
I don't even remember that moment. But you clapped.
I
clapped when I saw the thing.
That
I just
just makes
stared
me think.
listlessly at the screen like the guy in the South Park episode.
Yeah.
Clapping just reminds me of my old roommate that was watching AKB48 and was clapping along with it, and I walked past and I went,
Is that why you moved out?
Oh
So
my
judgmental. God. He's enjoying his best life watching idols.
You were right to do that, Yogi.
Okay, back on the rails. Throughout Shadowbringers, I held strong to the belief that the player was not a bystander. I feel it's a story where the player will strongly recognize that they're the main character, a hero. Yoshida says, during A Realm Reborn, I was often relaying messages about the remains of the world that we were withdrawing from, and as such, we used the word hero many times throughout that first expansion. Once this reached its peak, it resulted in the lead in to Heavensward that subsequently ended the Dragon Song War. Afterwards, the terminology used to refer to the Warrior of Light gradually changed to Liberator during Stormblood. However, the true Liberators would most likely be Lys.
She did nothing.
It happened. They finally said it. Memes can become dreams. Can become reality.
And I will agree because he actually trained and fought to bring back Doma.
I can't believe...
Well, he assembled his own army.
Exactly.
Lys
so he was fine.
inherited one.
Okay.
Lys is a bad character.
The true Liberators would most likely be Lys and Hien rather than the Warrior of Light. By purposely using the term hero excessively, we allowed it to take bigger precedence rather than what was actually contributed. Are you kidding, Yoshi-P? This, he knows. He must know. Surely. He said that just to be like memeing.
I don't know how Japan responds to Lys.
I refuse to believe that they have responded any differently than us. It is very clear that she only shows up like briefly every time to just to take the glory. Like she's like, oh, I see. You've taken down. Good job, everyone. I organized this. Thank you very much. I am the leader of Al Amigo. Everyone, welcome.
Narrator of Stormblood.
Yeah, that doesn't mean she liberated shit. Afterwards, when we begin Shadowbringers, the players enter a world where they are totally unknown to the general population, and it becomes such that your ability is the only hope for saving the world. However, from the perspective of someone wanting to restore the world into its original form, the Warriors of Light become the rebels of the story. Also, from the perspective those who want to protect present-day humanity, the Ancients, who are the primary threat to that goal, are the actual rebels. I do feel like we were able to successfully combine the outlaw-like nature of the word liberator with the feeling of this. With the feeling of this can only be achieved by me that comes with the word hero to create Shadowbringers. This is something that didn't fully translate well because he's talking about liberator. Is this in reference to the Japanese title of Stormblood?
Yeah, Crimson Liberators.
Yeah. So that's why that didn't fully. I'm sorry for the confusion, but that's why he's saying that. Okay. I'm asking this just to be sure here, says Famitsu. But through the entirety of Shadowbringers arc, were there other inner themes or keywords besides the one who inherits the soul? Yoshida says, I think I've talked about this in various places before, but the Scions are, in the truest sense of the word, the player's comrades. That was the theme I strongly requested my staff members to keep in mind. The three main objectives of the trust system are solo play, world immersion, and making you feel that the Scions are your true comrades, and I believe we succeeded in accomplishing these goals.
Agreed, you did.
There you go. That is the interview.
Well,
That's
that is
part
the first
one.
part of the interview.
Yes.
We did it.
Whew. Yes. Shout out to Ak Morning for translating this mammoth of an interview, and it's not even done. So yeah, make sure you check that out. That's at akmorning.com. Yeah, I think they usually do like one massive one for a bit before each expansion with Yoshida.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is that. So yeah, no, he's it's good. I do love the I love the style of a Famitsu interview because it's so bizarre for like
It's
I mean, sometimes they ask good questions, but other times it's just like, oh, I really liked when you do that, and he's like, and then that's what they give him, and then he has to work with that. It's like, okay, yes, I did that,
I think for the next part we should like really get into it and like just go full like put the Nico Doga style like comments
the scrolling
across. Good. I want to see the woo woo woo. Please.
The next time we're gonna read this interview is probably post Endwalker. It's probably gonna be.
I feel like it'd be unlikely
next
it'll
year.
be out before January, maybe. Even.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Which. Yeah, that's.
By the time we
they
get a chance to actually read it.
Yeah.
What are we gonna
Well,
do
yeah,
next
that's
week?
true. They do talk
know,
about
we're in
how it's
trouble.
already the translation is already in the proofing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
So,
we'll see.
But that was back in September. Hopefully, I said this earlier, that interview that was partially translated on Twitter will be translated by next week.
Yeah, because we
That'd
have
be nice.
1 week. We are entering the dead week, which is like the week before expansion launch, and they are never good. So we'll hopefully have something next week.
We do have one piece of it, at least one backup content.
We
You might see it.
Yeah. There's also that thing that I teased last week, which we didn't do today because we had to finish this interview, and that is the lyrics for the song. So we might be going through that next week as well. Also, make sure to send us MogMail if you like. speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Right. That on that note, that's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, exclamation Discord in chat. If you want to join our Discord server, if you're watching on demand, link is in the description. Remember to stay tuned for the post show that's coming if you're watching live. We'll be reading questions from the syndicate. And send us MogMail, like we said, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. See you in the post show if you're watching live. Bye!
Bye.
I'd already eaten that log. Welcome everyone to the Speakers of Heidland post show, where it is a lovely evening in space. We are floating around in space as we do during the post show. Yippee! 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 No real reason why we're floating in space. I think we talked about this before. I think people have questioned why it's a space background. It wasn't so much supposed to be space more than it was supposed to just be like night, like a night
it's a sky.
Yeah, it's a sky.
Well, I guess when you just have it all space.
Yeah, it is.
It's just drifting slightly to the left.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I've said this, but when we're going into the next season, there might be some visual updates to the show. So I don't know if
Next year it'll be a blaring sun. You won't be able to see anything.
that's a good. I feel like we're done with the light. No, this has to be like it's supposed to like be like speakers
It's after hours.
dark. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You can play that. This is the post show.
Play what?
We don't want anything to do with Melee Algorithm.
I'll play this.
Notification.
Yes, I did give them FRSH again. FRSH. All right.
Fucking give birth to Waluigi.
Yeah. Okay. Did you? Okay. Anyways, post show. That's what we're doing. So we have to do questions from the syndicate. You heard nothing. You heard nothing. Did you not hear anything? Did you hear the
did
notification?
they not hear anything? We heard it.
We just sitting here enjoying, that. I don't know why you didn't hear that. Let me. It's the post show. Who cares? I can waste some time here. Here we go. Okay.
I don't know how you do it, but we're halfway through our 4th baby. Wah wah. Hush boys. Dad is doing his post show. Wah. Wow, Lucal, did you give them FRSH again?
There you go. Now you've caught up, everyone. All right. So let's jump into some questions from the syndicate. Questions from the syndicate are questions sent in by patrons in our Questions from the Syndicate channel on our Discord, Senior Master Supreme. Let's start with the first question, which is from Alex Franco AV. What's wrong with this picture? That's right, the fountain. How does that work? Plumbing doesn't exist. Give me your answers, speakers. Like
in real life or in the game?
Well,
there's a tube that goes up the statue.
No, plumbing doesn't work.
They actually have a little. Well, I shouldn't say little. They have a big Rogadin at the very top, and there's like a big straw.
Well,
and he just goes.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And then there's another tube where he goes. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
So
he works around the clock.
So it's obvious. I mean, Chad has already pointed it out. It's obviously water crystals. If there is no plumbing, I mean, there is plumbing in Eorzea. There is. We have proof of that. But in this case, there's no plumbing. Then they use water crystals. You put water crystals in the ewer, and that's it. That's how the water comes
They would
out.
assume
the wall.
Yeah.
They would assumedly need to change them every now and then because they do eventually lose their ether.
But for some of you who are unfamiliar with how a fountain works, let's get this sorted. From Roman times until the end of the 19th century, fountains operated by gravity, requiring a source of water higher than the fountain itself to make the water flow. The greater the difference between the elevation of the source of water and the fountain, the higher the water would go upwards from the fountain. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hold on. From the Middle Ages onwards, fountains in villages or towns were connected to springs or to channels which brought water from lakes or rivers. In Provence, a typical village fountain consisted of a pipe or underground duct from a spring at a higher elevation than the fountain. The water from the spring flowed down to the fountain, then up a tube into a bulb-shaped stone vessel, like a large vase or vase with a cover on top. The inside of the vase or vase, called the bassin de répartition, was filled with water up to a level just above the mouths of the cannons or spouts, which slanted downwards. The water, yeah, that's what they called them. The water poured down through the cannons, creating a siphon, so that the fountain ran continually.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that?
What if I took a bath in there and then people were just using my bath water for stuff?
So
what do they use the fountain?
What?
Fountain water is not used for anything other than for recirculating itself.
But I think you might also ask yourself, but Lukiel, you said up until the 19th century. What happened in the 19th century? Well, you see, what I've been talking about, the reason why we had fountains before then was because people needed to drink. They were drinking fountains. But in the beginning in the 19th century, fountains ceased to be used for drinking water and became purely ornamental. By the beginning of the 20th century, cities began using steam pumps and later electric pumps to send water to the city fountains. There you go. And also later in the 20th century, urban fountains began to recycle their water through a closed recirculating system. So that's why you don't drink fountain water anymore. But back in the day, back before the 19th century, you were supposed to drink from the city fountain.
You know, that's definitely like a social thing we've lost. Like,
the communal drinking fountain.
Well, it's probably because we have plumbing in our houses now. This was from a time when we didn't have that.
Like, if you saw me just go down the street and just like go, what's that? The Venus fountain and the Vatican or whatever.
Right.
And I was like,
why would you go to the Vatican?
No.
Well, okay. Someone must have drank from it because it's older than there must have been communal. Yeah, so people must have gone like, I gotta drink from the Venus fountain.
That's probably also why a lot of the fountains from the really old days aren't that impressive looking, because they were more function over form, because it was to provide water to the population.
Just to clarify, Roddy, you don't go there just for like a sip. You'll bring a bucket or something with you.
But like I might just be like, I'm kind of thirsty now, and I would just dunk my head. And
Rollo has such a romanticized view. It's like. It's like going to...
with a straw.
I don't think people would have loved you dunking your head in the fountain.
Yeah.
They don't know about
Rollo
germs.
showering in the communal fountain, just having a bath.
They don't know about germs.
While an
so
old man who just goes next to me.
They did know about germs. That's why they drank
Everyone's
beer.
enjoying the fountain. God. Anyways, there you go. That's the fountain lore. You're welcome, Alex. Anything else? No? Water crystals, or if not, they would use plumbing, because plumbing exists in Eorzea. And if there's one civilization in Eorzea that would have adequate plumbing, it would be Charlian. I think they would be one of the first to figure out how plumbing works. So yeah. All right. Thank you, Alex. Next question. This is from Chibi. Chibi Duo. Still haven't updated your color. So we're asking the speakers for expert plumbing advice. Are we? I want to know what blue collar occupation speaks to you the most. What job is the you from another shard toiling away at this very moment?
I would like to work as some sort of paper pusher in the Arcanists Guild.
That's not a blue collar job.
Would that?
Or is that more white collar?
It's still a white collar job.
Yeah.
I don't. That really a profession these days.
What is like so blue? Okay, yeah. What would?
What professions are we counting here for you, Georgi? We've got to make sure we appease you.
Yeah.
I would normally say like trades are blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. Botanist then.
Okay.
Logger.
Like okay, like
would a factory
lumberjack.
would a factory worker be considered that?
Yeah, a factory worker.
absolutely.
That's what I want. That's all I want.
You just want to can some tuna or something.
I just want to stand on that's all, a conveyor belt and just do that. That's what my dream job.
Yeah, I want to be the factory worker that just presses the button.
Yes! That's all I want.
Over and over again.
I love
Yeah.
that. Georgi and I will be working at the factory.
I'd pick. Would you say glass blowing is blue collar, or is that too artsy?
That's a little more like.
It depends on what you're doing.
If you
If
make
you're doing
like stained glass.
Are you making like
or something.
IKEA glasses? Then I think that's blue collar.
Well, like
I think
I
You
guess
can't
could
just
make
be
it
the
both.
artisan, Rollo. You can't just be like
Yeah.
artistic.
No, I just really like glass blowing. I really enjoy
I
it.
think
It's fun.
like at a certain point it starts to just become like not blue or white collar. It's like that the third thing where like
yellow collar. I don't know.
artists.
Yeah,
I don't know what
yeah.
artists are considered.
Yeah.
No.
All right,
Pink
you know what?
collar?
I'll
Fuchsia.
I'd pick carpenter then, because I do like carpentry a lot. I did a lot in middle school actually.
I'm
That was
surprised you
fun.
didn't choose like mechanic.
Well,
I
because
was
like
thinking that as well.
Mechanics like a hobby. Like that's
Right,
That's
okay.
for fun.
I see.
I don't like doing. I wouldn't want to do that for work.
Do you
Okay.
think it'd be at like the ironworks?
What, you're Mela. You're very. You want us to bring Eorzea into this? I think they're just talking about real world Mela. On a different shard, as if like in an alternate universe, they're using 14 speak.
Different shard is Eorzea speak. So
okay, let's do Eorzea speak as well then to cover both bases.
All right.
That's why I picked Logger.
Yeah, because I was thinking, wow, botanist here. What is that? Is that blue collar here? Do they even use the term blue collar in Eorzea though? I think we've been confused by the fact that we use such a normal. Yeah. Okay. We're overcomplicating it. Okay. I'll be.
Maybe Chibi's. Made it too vague.
Is culinarian a blue collar?
Yeah. I mean, someone's got to make the gruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can be the Bismarck.
I can't be like, no, I'm not like a 5-star chef. Okay, yeah, I will, yeah, I'll go culinarian. Low-level culinarian. I'll bake some bread.
I pick that as well.
Yeah.
Line
cook. There you go.
Yeah, see? Oh, I could do wood turning. I love wood turning. That'd be so dope.
All right. Well, there you go. So
Mela, what would you be in real life then?
Yeah, if you could choose any blue collar, just any blue collar job.
It's a tough one. Maybe
plumber. Okay. I would invite you over to come look at my pipes, if you know what I'm saying.
I want Mela
my actual pipes, not my actual. My plumbing is fucked. So come look at my plumbing.
We can ensure that.
I mean, it's super well paid.
Yes, it is.
It is. It is very well paid.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine once you're an expert on the subject, it's like that intense.
Oh my god, I would be like messing with my plumbing all the time if I could. I'd be like, oh well, I'm gonna add a fountain in my, I'll build a fountain in my living room.
I think electrician is the highest paid. Like
electrician would be too. I don't want to get an electric shock and die.
I want to be. Like
That's true.
I've done electrician work, and I don't like it.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. That's what we're picking. Thank you.
Come buy our goods, crafts, and services.
Yeah. And eat my bread. This next question is from Remy Asalia. Today's question was scheduled to be something that required me to do some research involving talking to people. But because I'm an anxious person, it got delayed. So for now, I'll ask this. You're in charge of designing a new Final Fantasy mascot in the realm of Cactuars and Moogles. What is its name? What does it look like? What's its signature move? And why does this question feel vaguely familiar? This is a normal, this is a normal question from Remy. That's unusual.
Right. Oh boy.
Well, it can't be something that already exists, so that makes it even more difficult.
Oh, you know what? I got it.
Okay.
Mine. His name will be Bizjoe. It's Bizjoe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like a meter tall little man, right? His little business suit, little briefcase, and he's just like a little creature that runs around and likes doing business work. He also likes just pretending to work. Like, he'll take out his little briefcase and pretend to shuffle papers. Like he doesn't have any real work to do. But then he's just like a bald little man. It's like a meter tall. And he goes, he's saying, all his catchphrases are like really bad water cooler talk. He's just like, if he's in a fight, he's like, how's the life doing?
Aww, how's the life doing?
It's just in all promotional material. It's just this little bald man in a business. How's your wife doing?
he's little Biz Joe. He's beloved the world around. And his special attack is incorrectly doing your taxes.
Oh no, the worst.
On purpose.
Oh god.
Randomly changes your gil.
Yes.
He'll do an accounting error, not in your favor.
Oh my god.
But it hurts him because he doesn't like doing a bad job.
Oh, I like Biz Joe.
Oh.
Oh, Biz Joe is good. I think that's wow.
Yeah, little Biz Joe.
Yeah, I think Biz Joe's it.
I don't know if I can top Biz Joe.
I don't know if I
to be
can beat
honest.
Biz Joe.
I think we're all just going in on Biz Joe here. Biz Joe is it. Okay, well.
Little Biz Joe.
Hope you're listening, Sakaguchi. Here's some new mascot.
When they're kids, they're just called little Biz Joes, and they're just slightly smaller bald men.
Oh my god, horrible. Okay, well there you go.
He's pleasant.
He is very pleasant. That's
he's
true.
Pleasant.
That's true.
What happens when we have an S rank Biz Joe though? How big is it?
He's like. Let me think. He's like 5 inches taller.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He can never be too tall.
But his briefcase is red.
Oh, okay. That's how you know. Better back off.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
He means business.
Really? Yeah, literally. Okay. Thank you, Remy. That's that. We're just going for Biz Joe. Is just
Biz Joe.
Biz Joe is it? All right. Thank you, Remy. Whew. Next question. It's from AJ Brainswordson. Question to Lakeel. 2.0 launch day. Were you one of the many legacy players who switched to Arcanist and made Ragnarok Limsa a sea of bright blue carbuncles that my PS3 struggled to render? Or did you not take part in this because you deleted your main?
Wow.
The most epic of cringe.
Bringing that back.
Well, I'll just pretend that you didn't say that last part, but I do remember the carbuncle thing, and I think I did it because I mean that was the new job, so you had to like go check that out, and there was a lot of fucking carbuncles on launch day. Well, if you were lucky enough to get in, the servers were interesting at the time, so yeah, that's incredible actually. That A Realm Reborn is like the only time Final Fantasy XIV had like a launch day that's similar to other MMOs where like the servers just constantly crashed, because that didn't really happen after that. We had very smooth launches. Yeah.
They have the money to actually scale, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they spend the money to scale.
Yes, well, they didn't really have much money to spend when they launched A Realm Reborn, so... yeah, there was a lot of Arcanist. I've cursed the... Yeah, I mean, Endwalker is going to be bad. I'm just going to warn everyone right now.
But Shadowbringers was so good, though.
Yeah, but we didn't have the influx that we've had now. There are more people playing now during a lull than there has ever been.
Though. They've been stress tested.
They have been.
I hope it has helped.
I believe it. This is the only team I believe in to not fuck up.
But we're also we're also in a situation where they can't even upgrade the servers if they wanted to, which they've expressed that they kind of want to. I don't know. Be prepared for Endwalker to not be as smooth as the other expansions have been. But I still have faith that we will get through somehow.
As long as I get in.
Right, exactly. But that's not a given because you might just get in and then you get kicked, and then you're in like a 6,000 people queue.
Might happen to you, Lydia. It's not going to happen to me.
So
I'll be level 83 on day one.
Oh, okay.
So did you start your Lakeel, your 2.0 Lakeel in Limsa as an Arcanist? That the first job that he had?
No. He already had a level 50 paladin.
An alt. At one point, he was the bank alt.
He was my bank alt. It was my mule. But he
The original character, Biz Joe, was unfortunately deleted.
I'm not going to go through the story again. You'll just there's no way for you to find this story anywhere.
Look on the wiki.
Yeah, look up on the wiki. Essentially, Linkshell said we'll delete our mains. We deleted our mains in 1.0. Well, technically 2.0. Well, I thought I did. We also broke up. Like the whole Linkshell broke up, and everyone was spread throughout. Because remember that Ragnarok was the first EU data center that was made in in 1.0, and so the others were North American and stuff. So they just moved all over to their servers, and I think I was the only one that deleted my character, truly, because I started seeing their names everywhere, and I'm like, you have all your classes leveled. So that was very upsetting. So I don't know if they just fucking tricked me, if there was a conspiracy to fuck me up, or if everyone was trying to fuck each other over and no one fell for it except for me. I don't know. It's fucked up. All right. Yes, I did go and get. I think Arcanist was the first job I unlocked in A Realm Reborn. Okay. Thank you, AJ. Oh yeah, PS3 players. That must have been difficult with all the carbuncles.
Imagine playing on PS3.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, AJ. Last question. This is from Alex Franco AV. It's 5:40 a.m. here. I couldn't sleep, debating between McDonald's and eating healthy. McDonald's won. I just stop caring when I'm tired, which reminds me of some of the funniest times watching speakers. When Lukiel is so tired watching live letters and he's 8 hours streaming, slowly losing his mind, making gummy dude. Do you secretly yearn for tired Lukiel? Do you even remember... Sorry, do you secretly yearn for... Yeah, tired Lukiel? Or do you even remember what tired Lukiel does? Can tell that this was written at 5:40 a.m.
Fugue state.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, it all depends on how much fresh I have taken or energy drink I have put in to keep me going. I don't become tired it takes a lot for me to get tired, but I'll become I'll be tired in that annoying way where you're everything is funny kind of way. That's how I become tired.
That's good content, though.
It's good content, I guess, but yeah.
It's just like the creepypasta, the Russian sleep experiment. You crave the release of your inner demons when you're tired.
Yeah.
Your connection to your truth. I don't fucking remember how pasta goes. Whatever. I can be... Oh yeah, last live letter I got a potato. I got this weird potato obsession at the end of the last live letter coverage. I wanted potatoes so I couldn't stop thinking about and just boiled potatoes. Just boiled, nothing else. You're
no
so
fancy
European.
Shit. Yeah.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Potato?
I just wanted potato. And I'll tell you what, I bought 3 types of potato yesterday. Not yesterday, the other day. Because I just want potato. Because I am in a potato mood. So...
Have you done anything with them yet?
Yeah, I've boiled them. I've had boiled potato. I haven't just had
butter,
that, but I've had other... I've had it with
pepper.
Gravy. I've had it with... It's been included in other dishes, obviously.
Okay.
Just making sure.
Yeah. But that's how it is. I get very hyper when... Not hyper isn't the word. It's a weird fugue state. Is the best way to put it, I think.
Was that the one where I got strep throat at the end? Was that the potato?
No, that was the one before.
Oh yeah,
okay.
that was. Yes, that was the one before it.
The one where I got strep throat.
I was dying at the end. I felt so terrible.
Yeah. I have. I just learned, by the way. Sorry, not to just put us back on the potato track, but I learned the other day that in the U.S. you can get potatoes individually wrapped in plastic to use in a microwave.
Wow.
I think I've seen that.
What?
What a waste.
What a waste. That is such one potato. I'm like, what the fuck? You're going to put one single potato?
What? I mean, you're going to eat more than one potato?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, okay, you got to admit, like a baked potato, right? Like a baked potato?
Yeah.
I can only really eat one. I feel like I could, like, that's really
Oh
starchy.
yeah, one baked potato, but you can buy a bunch of potatoes in a nice,
Yeah.
brown
You can't
paper bag.
You can't just make one baked potato is the thing. Like if you buy the bag. I've never seen that in my life. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, no. They're real. They're
And
real.
also, you can, like, normally at
Single potatoes.
normally at supermarkets, there's just the fresh food section. If you want one potato,
Eric,
you can just go and grab one potato. You don't need. Why is there this separate wrapped potatoes?
Eric, you're talking about baked potatoes. That's different. They come in like aluminum foil. Those are the big potatoes that you're supposed to bake. They have to come in single because they're fucking massive. We're talking just normal ass potatoes, tiny potatoes, single wrapped. Yeah, that is bonkers. Yeah, normal tiny. It's like going and buying a mandelpotet in one single. I don't know what that is in English. I keep forgetting what it is. It literally translates to almond potatoes, which is tiny.
Oh, like God, what are those potatoes called?
Let me check.
Baby potato.
While you look for that mailer, I think there is a fake Irishman in the chat.
Fake Irishman. Oh yeah. Well, Faris will try and claim he's from the United Kingdom, but we know he's Irish.
Oh, it is literally called almond potato, and it originates from Norway, Sweden, and Finland.
Oh, okay.
It is our own potato. Okay, there you go. All right. Well, we can talk about potatoes for as long as we want because we're done with questions from the syndicate.
Oh yeah.
So,
play the Yippee video. Just do.
No, I'm not doing that.
Just do it.
We.
Yippee.
Were you talking about potatoes yesterday as well?
Yes, I'm in a potato mood.
Because I was sent some potatoes that you'd found.
Yes. I'm so sorry. There were some. That's true.
Oh, we finished 9 yesterday. Should we talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah, we finished 9.
Did you enjoy how ridiculous and stupid the end was?
Well, okay.
Define ridiculous and stupid.
Without spoiling it, when the final boss has absolutely no relevance to the entire
the same complaint we have.
Yeah, okay.
It's essentially a pop-up villain at the end, which is or a pop-up boss, which has no bearing on anything. So
Other than that, though,
that's weird.
One of the best Final Fantasies.
100%. One of the best Final Fantasies that I've played. Characters that you what?
Is Zidane a stupid little boy? You stupid little loser?
He's actually very old.
He's not stupid. He's pretty
he's canny.
Confident in himself.
Is he gone? That's all I need to know.
No.
Okay, he just looks stupid.
You're talking about? You think Zidane looks stupid?
I think he looks like a little idiot.
He is he's like a monkey boy.
I know.
He's a tailed human. That is the species they list him as in the opening.
Yeah. No, it's if you haven't played 9 or if you haven't watched the playthrough, you probably should if you're watching. It's very good. The game is very good.
He's just horny.
Oh,
yeah, he is just horny actually. Yeah. There's
a lot in common, Ronnie.
Zidane is weird. Okay, I'll say this. The game has not aged well in certain things. He's a bit he has an attack just called Protect Girls, which
That's not an attack. That was a that's
defend
one of his
girls.
Passives. Thank you.
yeah, passives.
That's all right. What's wrong with that?
It's just a weird thing. There's that, but other than that, actually, it's held up pretty well. There's this whole pissing thing, which I didn't like, which is where Vivi
he teaches.
Vivi
yeah,
is like
Zidane
sad.
teaches Vivi that like it's just a thing that guys do
Yeah,
to bond.
yeah.
That you pee together.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
cross the streams.
quite.
And I didn't agree with
Hey,
that.
No.
Okay, you know what? I think I know where this is coming from, because I was rewatching part 3 of JoJo, right? And
Yeah.
the same exact thing happens, where it's like they beat a bad guy, and they're like, "Come on, let's piss together. It's what men do to bond. Come on." And you're just like,
Is this a Japanese thing that we don't understand?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it might
That
be
is
like a Japanese
bizarre.
thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. It was also made worse, of course, because we were playing with a widescreen mod. And sometimes when things aren't supposed to be seen but still has to be loaded in, it's just kind of placed off to the side. And Zidane was pissing, and then it goes tinkle, tinkle, and then Vivi is like supposed to, I think, walk off frame, but instead he walks towards Zidane and then teleports up to his level, and now he's like, you know, in an unfortunate position for pissing. So yeah, it was very
I was
strange.
surprised that Vivi could even pee, to be honest.
Well, that was why it was so creepy, because he's like, how do I do it? Like, there was a lot of weird... I didn't like the conversation around it.
the conversation was very strange.
Yeah, yeah. So he taught Vivi how to piss, essentially.
Have you ever pissed with the mates? You know.
No.
Pissed with the mates. I have pissed in the presence of mates.
Rollo, but that's about it.
But if I have to, like, I feel like, okay, if I've pissed in the presence of mates, I would I would be like, I'm just gonna go piss, and I'd just go like hide behind a tree and piss. I'm not gonna stand next to them and be like, I'm pissing right now, by the way. It's what men do.
Just whip it out.
I unfortunately have
pissed with the mates.
Yeah.
You want to see?
You want to see?
I want to see.
There's no
Rollo. Why is there a photo? Okay, you are doing some weirder shit.
No, I don't know about
You
it.
were
no.
okay.
Hold on.
I don't know if I like where this is going.
I don't know if we should see this.
Again, there's nothing. We were.
Why is there a photo?
Why is there even a photo? Yeah.
You're pissing with your mates, and you're like, let's
play with a guy. Hold on. Okay.
Rollo,
Okay,
this is
so,
TOS.
There is
danger.
nothing.
You do not post.
Can't see.
Don't post it in chat.
You don't see anything. You don't see anything.
Well, what's
There's
the point
nothing to
then? Is
see.
there a picture of just?
You'll see. It'll make sense once you see it. It's not safe for work. So, I was 17 or 18, and I had met internet friends for the first
underage
time.
as well.
No. And I'd met internet friends for the first time in New Jersey.
This is how we
had a
end.
party, and then.
Can you post it on our Discord and then let me
If
vet
you
it
want
first?
I'll let you vet it first, and you'll see it's.
Don't in the
Post
it in our private chat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
I can. Okay.
There's nothing to see.
Why?
I
There's
see.
nothing to
I see
see.
P in motion.
There's no. At least.
I see P in motion. We are not posting
Yeah,
that.
emotion. We're not posting this.
This is underage people pissing. I'm not putting that up anywhere. Think, Rollo, for a second.
25. He was 25.
Your child, though.
Yeah, we're not. I can't believe you really want to post.
There's nothing to see.
There is. There's piss.
So.
There's
We're supposed to
so.
piss on here.
Isn't that the whole? Okay. Fuck off. This okay. Piss. No piss.
See,
no
here's
piss.
the thing, Rollo. You were wanted to make fun. You were making fun of Zidane. Chat said this earlier. You are kindred spirits
Yeah,
with Zidane.
you are and you were like, oh, Zidane's a stupid little boy. And look at you being like, oh, look at me pissing, guys. Guys, look at me pissing with this 25-year-old.
Zidane is probably the same age that you are in this picture.
Yes. Yes.
No, I think I was like 18 or 19. It was like what, 2013?
Okay, so Zidane's only like 2 years younger than you were.
Ooh.
Good God Almighty. All right. Well, I'm glad we got that.
Rollo's ruined our discussion about Final Fantasy IX.
You can describe it, Rolla, without providing a photo. You don't need. We'll believe you. We don't need to see it.
It's just a picture of me pissing with my friend. That's it.
So Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX. Okay.
Lakil, keep talking about 9.
Yeah, Final Fantasy IX. We're moving on. Was a good game. It had some twists that I didn't see. Like, they weren't massive twists, but there were a couple of twists. Like, for instance, that Queen Braun was actually a good person, or whatever she was. That's the one thing though, is that we are never truly explained like why Braun looks the way she does, like what she is, because we never see anyone like her ever again.
No, we don't. But also, like, there's lots of just like different looking people in this world, and there's no explanation for it.
That's true. Yeah, that's
Does
true.
that one soldier look like a fucking triangle, like an upside down triangle? He's like so top heavy.
Oh,
Steiner?
Yeah.
Steiner? Does he look like that?
You leave Steiner alone.
Steiner is good.
I'm saying he's bad. I'm just saying.
Well, the only problem I have with the design is that they made everyone's butts really shiny, the females.
Yeah, it was sort of because I popped into the stream for a moment. I'm like, why is her ass? Why is she wearing like an Evangelion plug suit or something?
Yeah.
It's very high definition.
It is weird. It's a weird choice. Quina is the best character in the game. So
Quina is a great character.
100%.
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed that Freya's story doesn't really get resolved properly.
Right. Yes. Freya is yeah.
I feel like every other character gets a pretty like complete like arc, whereas Freya's sort of. I feel like something was missing, or we missed something.
We might have maybe there's like side stories or something that we're supposed to do to get her backstory.
Side content.
Because she's sort of left a bit unexplained at the end. Because she has this whole story with this like guy that forgets who she is and shit, and that's never really truly resolved. Even at the end, he's like, "Oh, I'm here now." He's like, "But you barely know who I am right now." So that's odd, but yeah.
What are you gonna play?
At least you've got.
What?
Go, Mila.
At least you've got the chance, because you're gonna have to play it a second time now.
That's true. There's a remake.
Do Excalibur 2.
A remaster. Oh, you're talking about.
But you've got to complete.
We didn't
the
do
game in under
Ozma.
12 hours.
We didn't do Ozma. We didn't do Ozma. We did get to Hades, but he just bonked us out of existence almost immediately.
He's just hiding behind a rock.
Yeah, it's like the Little Mermaid. It's underwater. 9. I give it 10 out of 10. And I understand why, because
10 out of 10. That's high praise.
Uematsu said that he considers the music of 9 to be his magnum opus, and I haven't really had time to like, while we've played it, to like really appreciate the music in the game. But when you notice it, it's very good. Like it is very good.
I want to listen to some of the soundtrack a bit more. There are definitely some songs that stuck out to me. Kuja's theme is very good.
Yes. Yeah. So very good. Okay. Apparently,
will we talk about the anime when it releases?
Yeah, I think we should. Maybe that
was an FF9 anime.
Yeah,
I assume we'll all watch it.
And apparently, also maybe there's a remake coming as well. If the leaks that we've seen over the
next either April or February, depending on whether it's American or not.
Yeah, that's crazy if that's true, because there's been no one any sign from.
There's been no content for it. Like, how expensive is this remake?
Right, because it's a remake and not like another remaster. It's there, so you'd expect it to be pretty good. But...
Yeah, I really do wonder why 9's been like super ignored when it comes to like even re-releases.
Yeah,
or ports.
Yeah, because 9. I don't feel like 9, like 6, is probably one of the most universally liked, but it's not talked about as much as 6.
Maybe it's more like a Western like thing.
No, 9 was very
popular.
Well, then
why is this the first one they're making into an anime then?
Well, because Isn't like 10 one of the more popular ones in like Japan?
Well, that's the PS2
Yeah, it is.
era, but
10 was the PS2 era, yeah.
I mean, like overall, I mean, the 10
Yeah,
is like
but I'd say
ranks
10,
pretty popular.
10, 9, and 6 are probably in their top 5 in Japan as well.
yeah. I think.
And of course, 7.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, gosh, that's
Well,
but
part of-
7's just...
Part of the
globally.
reason why 9 has probably been neglected a bit is because we know that they lost almost all of the background assets for
That's
it.
true.
So it was hard to make
Square
any.
Enix was very bad with losing assets around this period of time.
Yeah. If you're a Kingdom Hearts player, you know that. So
Recreated one from scratch.
yep.
It was from an older build or something.
It was.
right?
I think they used like an early build, and then they had to like literally patch it again and like do it like finish it. It's bizarre.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Part of why 9 might also be forgotten is that like it's not as like the art style is not consistent with like previous or future Final Fantasies as much
It's
either.
such
Like
Right.
there's a lot of
weird-
like caricature in it compared to like just 8 or 10.
True.
9 feels like an alternate dimension Final Fantasy, where
Mhm.
like Final Fantasy progressed differently from like 3
Yeah.
or 4 or something, where things kind of stayed more stylistically chibi or
Mhm.
something,
Mhm.
almost like Bravely Default or the Crystal Explorer game or whatever.
Yeah. And they went back to pure fantasy as well. Like, there's not, we had before that it was steampunk and like whatever the fuck 8 was, which is like
Modern.
contemporary, modern, but also futuristic, but also old. Like, it was all of it. It was clunky, new tech shit.
8 is a weird world because it's got like cities seem disconnected from one another in terms of their technology. Like there's no globalization at
No.
all. Like cities exist by themselves essentially.
Yeah. So there you
Definitely
go.
nothing like 10 or 12. God, that's such a before or after. Nothing similar.
No, that's true. Okay, well, I think that's our review of 9, and I think that's also where we should wrap. That is,
Well,
yeah.
just
go on.
quickly.
Yeah.
What ones do you think we'll be doing next, like in February or so? What are we looking at?
Tactics. Just do tactics. Come on. Play tactics.
Oh, no, there's going to be Tactics is coming out with the GeForce leaks as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
I'll
that's true.
definitely
Be
look forward
perfect.
to that.
Do tactics.
But when's that out?
Yeah.
February.
Can't remember.
Is it February?
Yeah.
February?
I said I think it's War of the Lions and God, what's the other game? Or Let Us Cling Together. Tactics Ogre. That's
Ogre, right?
It. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. I think they're both getting remakes around the same or re-releases.
Okay. Okay. We'll see. We're gonna have a big poll, but we'll see how.
I'll help you. I'll make sure you don't pick mime accidentally. I know you'll be so tempted to make like people mimes.
Mhm.
They fucking suck.
Okay.
Mimes suck in tactics.
Okay.
They're the hardest job to get, but the worst job.
All right. Okay. We'll see how if the leaks turn out to be true. I mean, we won't know until next year when the release dates actually come. And if one game is released from that list, we know it's real.
Personally,
yeah.
still really excited to see Lakil play 15. It's the only game that I've
True.
completed that he has not.
I have
So
never
I want to
finished
see how he
15.
experiences it.
Yeah. We have on record how far I got in 15, and it's not far.
Very
How far
upsetting.
did you get?
Um,
Did you even get to the first? Did you get to Titan at least?
no.
No, I don't think he did.
I got to I don't remember, but it literally
I don't
just
even know
ends
if
with a
Lakil got
blue
through the
screen.
first checkpoint.
The first checkpoint?
Like, there's points that the Empire, the Niflheim,
Niflheim.
Niflheim Empire, like blocks off to like keep you from going to certain parts of the map. I don't even know if you got to the first one of those.
I don't remember. It's been so long. All I remember is that I had a cold while I was recording it, and that's why I recorded it. And that I got my PS4 crashed because of the game, and that's when I'm like, and it didn't save properly. I had to do a hunt all over again. I remember that. I got to that part, where you do the hunts in front of the gas station. Well, that's
I assume you'll be playing the Royal Edition.
of course. I think I already have it on my.
I think it's on Game Pass even though.
Yeah,
Probably.
I have it on my PS4. I think. I don't.
That first boss fight sucked though.
I don't remember anything from 15. So I'm very. Yes, to me it'll be like playing a brand new game.
There are only three 3D Final Fantasies left. There's 10, 12, not 12, 10, 13, and 15 left. We've played the rest. Well, we haven't played the original 7.
One of which I am not looking forward to.
I am so excited for 13 because I have entirely fresh eyes. I have been impervious to all criticisms of 13, all content when it comes to 13, and I genuinely want to go in and see how much I like it. Because you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be something there. Maybe you guys are just mean to Lightning.
Yeah, I'm kind of tempted to play 13 even before we get to it on here.
I know that Lightning is a nothing character.
I've heard that. I've heard that stuff, but I'm like, I haven't seen anything of the character, so I don't fucking care about your criticism. That kind of stuff is like, it's just I haven't seen anything of her.
Yeah.
And the 10 to 15 hours of 13 I played before I stopped playing it because I was at a friend's house. Lightning was the least interesting of the 6 characters.
Yeah, she's just not a good character. Everyone around her has like better stuff than her.
You can definitely argue that some of the other characters are annoying.
Yes.
But at least they have characters.
Yes.
I have heard though that the Lightning sequels are pretty good.
Because they're better.
Doesn't have lightning in it.
In the 13 Renaissance era, and since that people have like gone back.
13-2 is better than 13.
I've heard the 13-2 has a better gameplay, but maybe not as good a story.
No, that's possible. But
I've also heard a lot about the armpit thing. They
put a lot of effort into her armpits.
They're like,
you know what I hate?
Lightning sweat. You'll love it.
In World of Final Fantasy, they use Lightning Returns Lightning. It's a disgusting outfit on a chibi body.
Her little fucking chibi armpits.
Disgusting.
So what was that joke that was like the designer's office when they're making a lightning, like, and it's just like a explosion of semen coming out of the building with pictures of armpits.
All right. Okay.
Sorry?
Okay. That signals the end of the show, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Tomorrow is Sunday Fun Day. Make sure you catch that. We'll be back, like I said, next week. See you then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.